and I had an okay part. Then he said, "Well, if the guy running it said, okay, let me know what part you want to play." And I told him, and the next reading I wasn't picked, and in the reading after that, I didn't get any of the roles that I asked. So I emailed him and I said, "Is there any particular reason I'm not getting the roles I asked?" And he did not respond. So if you're going to treat me with that kind of disrespect, I don't know why. I don't want to have anything to do with you. And I've, been hopefully, I think I've been fair, and I don't play favorites, and I give everybody advanced notice as to what roles they would like to play. But I have to make clear that as playmaster, I reserve the right to take away any, and including myself, any previously asked for in order to give them to anybody who wants to join in, even on the day of the reading. Because, again, we've all been there. We're like, okay, you guys sit over there off to the side. We're going to have fun on stage. There's nothing, that's a terrible, terrible thing to do.
Yeah.
The other thing is, yes, it's all voluntary, but it is a group. So please, whatever decision you make regarding this group, take into consideration your fellow readers. The one main thing that I ask in that regard is, please just don't not show up. I gave you all my phone number. You can text me. You can contact me anytime, even if there's the slightest doubt that you're not going to show up. Tell me, because if you just don't show up, I've got to start juggling and reassigning, and we lose time, and we waste our time. So that's all I have to say. I mean, I just needed to make those things clear. Obviously, I'm going to repeat this to the people who aren't here. And again, thank you all. I'm very grateful to each and every one. I'm very grateful for the feedback, certainly for the constructive criticism, because I'm learning, and we're all learning as we go along. And of course, the usual, take a break after Act 3. When in doubt, please turn off your video and audio. I got some background party going on outside. I don't know, hope you can't hear that. And thank you for helping me meet the challenges of this particular play. I don't know if this is one of the problem plays, but it certainly presented the challenges for me. Does anybody know? Well, I'm sorry.
Yes. I was just asked if somebody could share my background, which I don't mind at all. Do you want me to send it to all?
That's fine with me. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Does anybody have anything to say? Any questions?
So, am I going to be able to do Titus Lartius?
Susan said yes.
Take it, please. Absolutely. Absolutely, Eleanor.
Okay. And the messenger?
Messengers are yours as far as I'm concerned.
And scene, whatever, is it that one in Act 1, Scene 6?
A
lot of messengers.
I don't remember which messengers it was that were.
There's a lot of messengers.
Yeah, I have just one in Act 1, Scene 6, but take it if you want.
I have you, Eleanor, I have you as the messenger, Act 1, Scene 1.
I'll just start, Mark. Vince, let me just explain to you that usually I like to mark my entrances ahead of time. And because I was doing Sir Thomas More, I didn't have a lot of time for that. And if you change things around at the last second, then that throws off all the work I've already done on the script.
And I completely understand that, and I did not do this on purpose. This is just a matter of, again, people dropping out, people coming in. Brandon had to drop out at the last minute. I, for some reason, was confused. I thought Mark wasn't going to do it, and he told me that he was going to do it. That was my fault. This is an unusual situation, and I try to avoid them at all costs. But this is just one of those things. And I'm sorry. They couldn't.
Okay, I never just don't show up. By the way,
no, I'm not singling out anybody.
If ever you see that I'm absent, then you can assume I might be a computer problem. B, I might have had a tricycle motor vehicle accident and I'm in the hospital. That's happened to me. Or C, my alarm did not go off and please phone me. You have my phone number, don't you?
Yes, I'm sure I do. You put it on your email, don't you?
Okay, I never just deliberately do not show up.
Okay, I'm just saying this to just.
Mhm.
I'm not singling out anybody.
Messengers. I just want to note. If this is yours, Eleanor, let me know. But I have Messenger in Act 2, Scene 1, and Messenger in Act 4, Scene 6. Are those things you have marked for yourself, Eleanor? I don't mind. I just want to know.
Those are messengers that I would be doing.
So those are yours.
What about Eleanor? What about Act 1, Scene 6? Because take that back if you have marked that.
Whatever messengers.
Take it. Yeah, fine. Take it.
No, I realize. Let's see. I'm realizing some of these scenes. Well, we're probably going to be talking to ourselves a whole lot in this one.
Not as far as I can. I broke it down scene by scene, and which all I will do from now on. By the way,
Okay.
again, I'm going to do it much more detailed and mark down who talks to who scene by scene, so this won't happen again. As far as I know,
If there's
nobody's talking to
where I'm talking to myself and it's not common and somebody else wants to take it from me, then I don't have the right to object. But I would like to be able to do those messengers.
That's fine. Okay.
Everything you did as far as my parts was lovely, Vincent. I have to tell you, it resolved every concern I had. So thank you very much.
And again, I will from now on, I will be as detailed as possible in breaking every scene down, marking who talks to who, so this doesn't happen again. But thank you. Okay, so do we have our backgrounds? Shreya, are you?
You have it.
I'm about to get
Sure.
the background. Hold on. I now have the correct background.
Excellent. I don't.
Oh, you know what? I have Chrome, so it may not work the Chromebook, but I don't want to waste it.
How come your room is not taking up your full screen?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't have it on HD because I can try this, but what often happens is I get odd, the edges of the room go in a different direction. Let me see. Let's show you what happens. See, I've got like a set of drawers on one side and a teddy bear on the other, so I figured it was better to just. I need a bigger green screen behind me.
But it just okay.
If it bothers you, Eleanor, I will go to the other.
It's hard for me to judge. Let me try. I'm unmirroring my thing. Yeah, because having them, it is a little odd. I can see what you're saying.
They both look great to me. I don't know.
Yeah. I really noticed them.
No, I think you had the right idea the first time. I did not know what. No, that's worse. That's much worse. That's much worse. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we all set?
I'm set.
Oh, we all know each other, but you still want to introduce ourselves? Why don't we? But just for fun. Susan?
Oh,
Susan Barnes Walker. I'm reading. What is it? Yeah.
I have his camera ready. There you are.
Anyway, Susan Barnes Walker. I'm reading Volumnia, first and second senator. Sometimes Brutus. Little things here and there. Roman, second serviceman. Good to be back. Good to see everybody.
Eleanor.
I'm Eleanor Elizabeth Foreman. I'm going to be playing Sicinius, Messenger, Titus Lartius, Valeria, first officer, third citizen, I think, and maybe a few others.
I'm sorry. Can we start again? Because I didn't record. So let's start with we're recording now. So sorry.
Oh dear. Get off the internet, please. All right. I am Susan Barnes Walker, and I'm reading Volumnia, and I'm sometimes reading First Senator, Brutus, Second Senator, Second Citizen, Sixth Citizen, and the Second Serviceman, Second Watchman, Third Conspirator, and Second Lord, and a Roman.
And you're hailing from?
I'm hailing from New York, New York.
Eleanor.
I'm Eleanor Elizabeth Foreman. I'm also hail from New York, from Manhattan. I'm going to be playing Sicinius, Messenger, Titus Lartius, Virgilia, and a few miscellaneous other people here and there.
Bjorn.
Bjorn Peterson, from New York. Not in the city currently, but from New York. Going to be playing a number of different parts.
You're Cominius, mainly.
Mainly Cominius, yeah.
Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark from Long Beach, California. I'm playing Phidias and various soldiers, citizen roles.
Leah.
Yes, Shelia Spencer. I'm in Queens. I'm primarily playing Menenius, also Virgilia. I got a little taste of Brutus going on here, a little Roman, a citizen.
I'm Virgilia. You're going to be, I think, Valeria.
Okay.
Yeah, I may have made this. David is so similar. I may have made a discrepancy there. I am Vincent. I am hailing from Brooklyn, and I will be reading Coriolanus et al. I'll just. And of course, we're all on standby for all. We have a lot of alls in here. I mean, you don't have to stick around. If you have to, walk away. But but sound like a crowd. All patricians and all senators or all whoever. Okay. Coriolanus, Act 1, Scene 1. Enter a company of the citizens with staves, clubs, and other weapons. Eleanor, I believe you have the first line.
Okay.
First citizen.
Okay. Before we proceed any further, hear me speak.
Speak.
We're all resolved rather to die than to famish.
Resolved.
First, Caius Marcius is chief enemy to the people.
We know it.
Let us kill him, and we'll have corn at our own price. Is it a verdict?
No
more talking. Let it be done. Away. One word, good citizens.
We're accounted poor citizens. The Parisians, good. What authority servants one would relieve us if they would yield us but the superfluity which it were wholesome. We might guess they relieved us humanely, but they think we are too dear. The leanness that afflicts us, the object of our misery, is as an inventory to particularize their abundance. Our sufferance is a gain to them. Let us revenge this with our pikes, ere we become rakes. The gods know I speak this in hunger for bread, not in thirst for revenge.
Would you proceed especially against Caius Marcius?
Against him
first.
He's
a very dog for the commonality.
Consider you what services he has done for this country?
Very well, and could be content to give him good report for it, but that he pays himself with being proud.
Nay, but speak not maliciously.
I say unto you, what he hath done famously, he did it to that end. Though soft-conscious men can be content to say it was for his country, he did it to please his mother, and to be partly proud, which he is, even to the altitude of his virtue.
What he cannot help in his nature, you account a vice in him. You must in no way say he is covetous.
If I must not, I need not be barren of accusations. He hath quotes with surplus to tire in repetition. Well, what shouts are these? The other side of the city is risen. Why stay we prating here? To the capital.
Come.
Enter Menenius Agrippa.
Soft, who comes here?
Worthy Menenius Agrippa, one that hath always loved the people.
Is one honest enough? Would all the rest were so.
Oh, what's work, my countrymen, in hand? Where go you with bats and clubs? The matter, speak, I pray you.
Mark?
Our business is not unknown to the Senate. They have had inkling this fortnight what we intend to do, which now will show him in deeds. They say poor suitors have strong breaths. They shall know we have strong arms, too.
Why, masters, my good friends, mine honest neighbors, will you undo yourselves?
We cannot, sir. We are undone already.
I tell you, friends, most charitable care have the patricians who, for your wants, your suffering in this dearth, you may as well strike at the heaven with your staves as lift them against the Roman state, whose course will on the way it takes cracking 10,000 curbs of more strong link asunder that can ever appear in your impediment. For the dearth, the gods, not the patricians, make it, and your knees to them, not arms, must help. Alack, you are transported by calamity thither where more attends you and your slander the helms of the state, who care for you like fathers when you curse them as enemies.
Care for us? True indeed. They ne'er cared for us yet. Suffer us to famish, and their storehouses crammed with grain. Make edicts for usury to support usurers. Repeal daily any wholesome act established against the rich, and provide more piercing statutes daily to chain up and restrain the poor. If the wars eat us not up, they will, and theirs all the love they bear us.
Either you must confess yourselves wondrous malicious, or be accused of folly. I shall tell you a pretty tale. It may be you have heard it, but since it serves my purpose, I will venture to stilt a little more.
Well, I'll hear it, sir. Yet you must not think to fob off our disgrace with a tale. But an't please you, deliver.
There was a time when all the body's members rebelled against the belly. Thus accused it, that only like a gulf it did remain in the midst of the body, idle and unactive, still covering the viand, never bearing like labor with the rest, where the other instruments did see and hear, devise, instruct, walk, feel, and mutually participate, did minister under the appetite and affection common of the whole body. The belly answered.
Well, sir, what answer made the belly?
Sir, I shall tell you, with a kind of smile which ne'er came from the lungs, but even thus, for, look you, I may make the belly smile as well as speak, it tauntingly replied to the other discontented members, the mutinous parts that envied his receipt, even so most fitly as you malign our senators for that they are not such as you.
Your belly's answer. What? The kingly crowned head, the vigilant eye, the counselor heart, the arm our soldier, our steed the leg, the tongue our trumpeter, with other monuments and pretty helps in this our fabric, if that they...
What then? For me this fellow speaks. What then? What then?
Should by the cormorant belly be restrained, who is the sink of the body?
Well, what then?
the former agents, if they did complain, what could the belly answer?
I will tell you. If you'll bestow a small of what you have, little patience a while, you'll hear the belly's answer.
You're long about it.
Note me this, good friend. Your most grave belly was deliberate, not rash like his accusers, and thus answered, "True it is, my incorporate friends," quoth he, "that I receive the general food at first, which you do live upon, and fit it is, because I am the storehouse and the shop of the whole body. But if you do remember, I sent it through the rivers of your blood, even to the court, the heart, to the seat of the brain, and through the cranks and offices of man, the strongest nerves and small inferior veins from me receive that natural competency whereby they live. And though that all at once, you, my good friends, this says the belly, mark me.
Aye, sir. Well, well.
Though all at once cannot see what I do deliver out to each, yet I can make my audit up that all from me do back receive the flower of all, and leave me but the brain, the bran. What say you to it?
It was an answer. How apply you this?
The senators of Rome are this good belly, and you the mutinous members. For examine their counsels and their cares, digest things rightly touching the weal of the common. You shall find no public benefit which you receive, but it proceeds or comes from them to you, and no way from yourselves. What do you think, you, the great toe of this assembly?
Aye, the great toe. Why the great toe?
For that, being one of the lowest, basest, poorest of this most wise rebellion, thou goest foremost. Thou rascal, thou art worse in blood to run, leadst first to win some vantage. But make you ready your stiff bats and clubs. Rome and her rats are at the point of battle. The one side must have bail. Hail, noble Marcius.
Answer, Caius Marcius. Thanks. What's the matter, you dissentious rogues? That rubbing the poor itch of your opinion make yourselves scabs?
We have ever your good word.
He that will give good words to thee will flatter beneath abhorring. What would you have, you curs? That like nor peace, nor war. The one offends, affrights you, and the other makes you proud. He that trusts you, sorry, 1 second. There we go. Sorry, lost my place. There we go. There we go.
$181.
Sorry. My phone is not cooperating. Hold on. Start. Sorry. Okay. that trusts you. Where he should find you lions, finds you hares. Where foxes, geese. You are no surer, no, than the coal of fire upon the ice, the hailstone and the sun. Your virtue is to make him worthy whose offense subdues him, and curse that justice did it. Who deserves greatness deserves your hate, and your affections are a sick man's appetite, who desires most that which would increase his evil. He that depends upon your favors swims with fins of lead, and hews down oaks with rushes. Hang you! Trust you? Within every minute you do change a mind, and call him noble that was now your hate. Him vile that was your garland. What's the matter? That in these several places in the city you cry against the noble senate, who, under the gods, keep you in awe, which else would feed on one another. What's their seeking?
For corn at their own rates, whereof they say the city is well stored.
Hang him, they say. They'll sit by the fire and presume to know what's done in the capital, who's like to rise, who thrives, and who declines, side factions and give out, conjectural marriages, making parties strong and feebling such as stand not in their liking below their cobbled shoes. They say there's grain enough. Would the nobility lay aside their truth and let me use my sword, I'd make a quarry with thousands of these quartered slaves as high as I could pick my lance.
Nay, these are almost thoroughly persuaded, for though abundantly they lack discretion, yet are they passing cowardly. But I beseech you, what says the other troop?
They are dissolved. Hang 'em! They said they were an-hungry, sighed forth proverbs that hunger broke stone walls, that dogs must eat, that meat was made for mouths, that the gods sent not corn for the rich men only. With these shreds, they vented their complaining, which being answered, and a petition granted them, a strange one, to break the heart of generosity, and to make bold power look pale. They threw their caps as they would hang them on the horns of the moon, shouting their emulation.
What is granted them?
5 tribunes to defend their vulgar wisdoms of their own choice. One's Junius Brutus, Sicinius, Veltuus, and I know not. Death, the rabble, should have first unroofed the city, ere so prevailed with me. It will in time win upon power and throw forth greater themes for insurrections arguing.
This is strange.
Go get my home, you fragments. Enter messenger hastily.
Where's Caius Marcius?
Here, what's the matter?
The Muses, sir, the Volses are in arms.
I am glad on it. Then we shall have the means to vent our musty superfluity. Enter Sicinius, Veltius, Junius Brutus, 2 tribunes, Cominius, Titus Lardius, and other senators. See our best elders.
Marcius, 'tis true that you have lately told us the Volskis are in arms.
They have a leader, Tullius Aufidius, that will put you to it. I sin in envying his nobility. And were I anything but I am, I would wish me only he.
You have fought together.
We're half to half, the world by the ears, and he upon my party I'd revolt, to make only my wars with him. He is a lion that I am proud to hunt.
Then worthy Marcius, attend upon Cominius to these wars.
It is your former promise.
Sir, it is, and I am constant. Titus Lartius, thou shalt see me once more strike at Tullus's face. Thou, what? Art thou stiff? Stands out?
No, Caius Marcius. I'll lean upon one crutch and fight with t'other, or stay back behind this business.
Oh, true bread.
Your company the capital, where I know our greatest friends attend us.
Lead you on. Follow, Cominius. We must follow you. Right worthy your priority.
Noble Martius.
Hence to your homes, be gone.
Nay, let them follow. The Volses have much corn. Take these rats thither to gnaw their garners. Worshipful mutineers, your valor puts well forth. Pray, follow. They exit. Sicinius and Brutus remain.
Was ever man so...
He has no equal.
Wait. Only two of us remain. Everyone else off camera.
Oh, we're not going to do that, Eleanor. Sorry. All right, we'll do that. Everyone off camera. All right. Bjorn?
One.
Off camera.
Off camera. Oh.
Exeunt.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Was ever man so proud? Is this Martius?
He has no equal.
When we were chosen tribunes for the people.
Marked you his lips and eyes?
Nay, but his taunts.
Being moved, he will not spare to gird the gods.
Mock the modest moon.
Present wars devour him. He's grown too proud to be so valiant.
Such a nature, tickled with good success, disdains the shadow which he treads on at noon. But I don't wonder his insolence can brook to be commanded under Cominius.
Fame, at the which he aims, is in whom already he's well graced, cannot better be held nor more attuned than by a place below the first. For what miscarries shall be the general's fault, though he perform to the utmost of a man, and giddy censure will then cry out of Martius. Oh, if he had borne this business.
Besides, if things go well, opinion that so sticks on Martius shall of his demerits rob Cominius.
Come, have all Cominius's honors are to Martius, though Martius earned them not, and all his faults to Martius shall be honors, though indeed in aught he merit not.
Let's hence and hear how the dispatch is made, and in what fashion, more than his singularity, he goes upon this present action.
Let's along.
They exit. Scene 2, enter Tullius Aufidius and with senators from Coriolanus.
So, your opinion is, Aufidius, that they of Rome are entered in our councils and know how we proceed?
Is it not yours? Whatever have been thought on in this state that could be brought to bodily act ere Rome had circumvention? 'Tis not 4 days gone since I heard thence. These are the words. I think I have the letter here. Yes, here it is. They have pressed a power, but it is not known whether for east or west. The dearth is great, the people mutinous, and is rumored Cominius, Martius, your old enemy, who is of Rome worse hated than view, and Titus Lartius, a most valiant Roman. These three lead on this preparation whither 'tis bent. Most likely 'tis for you. Consider of it.
Our armies in the field. We never yet may doubt, but Rome was ready to answer us.
Nor did you think it folly to keep your great pretenses veiled till when they needs must show themselves, which is the hatching, it seemed, appeared to Rome. By the discovery, we shall be shortened in our aim, which was to take in many towns ere almost Rome should know we were afoot.
Noble Ophidius, take your commission, hie you to your hands. Let us alone to guard Coriolanus. If they set down before us for the remove, bring up your army. But I think you'll find they're not prepared for us.
Oh, doubt not that. I speak from certainties. Nay more, some parcels of their power are forth already, and only hitherward. I leave your honors. If we and Caius Marcius chance to meet, 'tis sworn between us we shall ever strike till one can do no more.
The gods assist you.
Assist you.
And keep your honors safe.
Farewell.
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 Full exit, Act 3. Enter Volumnia and Virgilia, mother and wife to Marcius. They set them down on 2 stools and sew.
Mark, you're not.
It's my daughter-in-law. I pray you, daughter, sing or express yourself in a more comfortable sort. If my son were my husband, I should freely rejoice in that absence wherein he was wherein he won honor, than in the embracements of his bed where he would show most love. When yet he was but tender-bodied and the only son of my womb, when youth with comeliness plucked all gaze his way, when for a day of king's entreaties a mother should not sell him an hour from her beholding, I, considering how honor would become such a person, that it was no better than picture-like to hang by the wall if renown made it not stir, was pleased to let him seek danger where he was late to find fame. To a cruel war I sent him, from hence he returned, his brows bound with oak. I tell thee, daughter, I sprang not more in joy at first hearing he was a man-child than now in first seeing he had proved himself a man.
But had he died in the business, madam? How then?
Then his good report should have been my son. Should have been my son. I therein would have found issue. Hear me profess sincerely. Had I a dozen sons, each in my love alike, and none less dear than thine and my good Marcius, I had rather had 11 die nobly for their country than one voluptuously surfeit out of action.
Enter, gentlewoman. Madam, the lady Valeria has come to visit you.
Beseech you give me leave to retire myself.
Indeed, you shall not. Methinks I hear hither your husband's drum. See him pluck Ophidius down by the hair, as children from a bear, the Volsces shunning him. Methinks I see him stamp thus and call thus, "Come on, you cowards, you were got in fear, though you were born in Rome." His bloody brow with his mailed hand then wiping, forth he goes like to a harvest man that's tusked to mow, or all or lose his hire.
His bloody brow? Oh, Jupiter, no blood.
Oh, away, you fool. It becomes a man than gilt his trophy. The breasts of Hecuba, when she did suckle Hector, looked not lovelier than Hector's forehead when it spit forth blood, Grecian sword, contemning. Tell Valeria we are fit to bid her welcome.
Gentlewoman exit.
Heavens bless my lord from fell Ophidius.
He will beat Ophidius's head below his knee and tread upon his neck.
Enter Valeria with an usher and a gentlewoman.
My ladies both, good day to you.
Sweet madam.
I'm glad to see your ladyship.
How do you both? You are manifest housekeepers. Well, what are you sewing here? A fine spot, in good faith. How does your little son?
I thank your ladyship. Well, good madam.
You'd rather see the swords and hear a drum than look upon his schoolmaster.
Oh, my word, the father's son. I'll swear 'tis a very pretty boy. Oh, my troth, I look upon him on Wednesday, half an hour together. He's of such confirmed countenance. I saw him run after a gilded butterfly, and when he caught it, he let it go again. And after it again, and over he comes, and up again, and catching it again. Or whether his fall enraged him, or how it was, he did so set his teeth and tear it. I warrant how he mimicked it.
Oh, one of his father's moods.
Indeed, that is a noble child.
Correct, madam.
Come, lay aside your stitchery. I must have you play the idle huswife with me this afternoon.
No, good madam. I will not out of doors.
Not out of doors?
She shall.
Indeed, no, by your patience. I'll not over the threshold till my lord return from the wars.
Fie, you confine yourself most unreasonably. Come, you must go visit the good lady that lies in.
I will wish her speedy strength, and visit her with my prayers, but I cannot go thither.
Why, I pray you?
'Tis not to save labor, nor that I want love.
He would be another Penelope. Yet they say all the yarn she spun in Ulysses' absence did but fill Ithaca full of moths. Come, I would your cambric were sensible as your finger, that you might leave pricking it for pity. Come, you shall go with us.
No, good madam. Pardon me. Indeed, I will not forth.
In truth, La, go with me, and I'll tell you excellent news of your husband.
Oh, good madam, there can be none yet.
Verily, I do not jest with you. There came news from him last night.
Indeed, madam?
In earnest, it's true. I heard a senator speak it. Thus it is. The Volches have an army forth against whom Cominius the general is gone with 1/100 part of our Roman power. Your lord and Titus Laertius are set down before their city Coriolanus. There's nothing doubt prevailing, and to make it brief, wars. This is true, one on mine honor, and so I pray, go with us.
Give me excuse, good madam. I will obey you in everything hereafter.
Let her alone, lady. As she is now, she will but disease our better mirth.
In troth, I think she would. Well, fare you well, then. Come, good sweet lady. Prithee, Virgilia, turn thy solemnness out a door, and go along with us.
No. At a word, madam, indeed, I must not. I wish you must turn.
Well, then, farewell.
Ladies, exit scene 4. Enter Marcius, Titus Lartius with trumpets, drum, and colors, with captains and soldiers as before the city of Coriolanus. To them a messenger. Yonder comes news. A wager they have met.
My horse to yours? No.
'Tis done.
Agreed.
Say, has our general met the enemy?
They lie in view, but have not spoke as yet.
Marcius?
Oh, so the good horse is mine.
I'll buy him from you.
No, I'll nor sell, nor give him. Lend you him I will, for 500 years. Some in the town.
How far off lie these armies?
Within this 1.5 miles.
Then we shall hear their larium, and they ours. Now, Mars, I prithee, make us quick in the work, that we, with smoking swords, may march from hence, to help our fielded friends. Come, blow thy blast! They sound the parley. Enter 2 senators with others of the walls of Coriolanus. Titus, Tullius, or Phidias, is he within your walls? Bjorn?
Sorry. No, nor a man that fears you less than he. That's lesser than little.
Drum afar off.
Hark, our drums are bringing forth our youth. will break our walls rather than they shall pound us up. Our gates, which yet seem shut, have but pinned with rushes. They'll open of themselves.
You can turn your video, Bjorn.
Oop, sorry.
Alarm, far off.
Hark you, far off. There is a Ophidius. List what work he makes among your cloven army.
They exit from the walls. Oh, they are at it.
Their noise be our instruction. Ladders! Oh!
Enter the army of the Volses as through the city gates. They fear us not, but issue forth the city. Now, put your shields before your hearts, and fight with hearts, more proof than shields. Advance, brave Titus, they do disdain us much beyond our thoughts, which makes me sweat with wrath. Come on, my fellows. He that retires, I'll take him for a Volsi, and he shall feel my edge. Alarm, the Romans are beat back to their trenches. They exit with the Volses following. Enter Martius, cursing with Roman soldiers. All the contagion of the south light on you, you shames of Rome. You heard of boils and plagues. Plaster you may be abhorred farther than seen, and one infects the other against the wind a mile. You souls of geese that bear the shapes of men, how have you run from slaves that apes would beat? Pluto and hell all hurt behind, backs red and faces pale, with flight and awed fear. Mend and charge home, or by the fires of heaven, I'll leave the foe and make my wars on you. Look to it. Come on, if you'll stand fast, we'll beat them to their wives, as they us to our trenches. Follow us! Another alarm, the Volsus re-enter and are driven back to the gates of Coriolanus, which open to admit them. So now the gates are open. Now prove good seconds. 'Tis for the followers fortune widens. 'Tis for the followers fortune widens them, not for the flyers. Mark me and do the like. Flavius follows.
Foolhardiness, not I.
Nor I.
See, they have shut him in.
Alarm continues.
To the pot, I warrant him.
I warrant him. Enter.
What?
Titus
Come on,
Flavius.
Martius.
Slain, sir,
soldier,
doubtless. Following the flyers at the very heels, with them he enters, who upon the sudden clap to their gates, he is himself alone to answer all the city.
Oh, noble fellow, who sensibly outdares his senseless sword, and when it bows, stands up. Thou art left, Martius, a carbuncle entire, as big as thou art, were not so rich a jewel. Thou wast the soldier even to calves which, not fierce and terrible only in strokes, but with thy grim looks, and the thunder-like percussion of thy sounds, thou madest thy enemies shake as if the world were feverish and did tremble.
Answer Martius, bleeding as from Coriolanus, assaulted by the enemy.
Look, sir.
Oh, 'tis Martius. Let's fetch him off or make remain alike.
They fight, and all enter the city, exiting the stage. Scene 5, intercepted Romans with spoils.
This will I carry to Rome.
And I this.
Moraine, I took this for silver.
Answer Martius and Titus Lartius with a trumpet. See here, these movers that do prize their hours at a cracked drachma, cushions, laden spoons, irons of a doit, doublets that hangmen would bury with those that wore them. These base slaves, ere yet the fight be done. Pack up, down with them. The Romans with spoils exit. Alarm continues still far off. At dark, what noise the general makes? To him, there's the man of my soul's hate, Ophidius, piercing our Romans. Then valiant Titus, take convenient numbers to make good the city, whilst I, with those that have the spirit, will haste to help Cominius.
Worthy sir, thou bleeds. Thy exercise hath been too violent for a second course of fate.
Sir, praise me not. My work hath yet not warmed me. Very well. The blood I drop is rather physical than dangerous to me. To Ophidius thus I will appear at fate.
Now the fair goddess Fortune fall deep in love with thee, and her great charms misguide thy opposers' swords. O gentleman, prosperity be thy page.
Thy friend is no less than those that she placeth highest. So farewell.
Thou worthiest Martius, go sound thy trumpet in the marketplace. All the officers of the town, where they shall know our mind. Away!
They exit. Scene 6. Enter Cominius, as it were in retire, with soldiers.
Preview, my friends. Well fought. We are come off like Romans, neither foolish in our stands, nor cowardly in retire. Believe me, sirs, we shall be charged again, whilst we have struck by in terms and conveying Gus what we have heard, the charge of our friends. The Roman gods lead their successes as we wish our own, that both our powers, with smiling fronts encountering, may give you thankful sacrifice.
Enter a messenger.
Thy news.
The citizens of Coriolanus have issued and given to Lartius and to Marcus Fidel. I saw our party to their trenches driven, and then I came away.
Well, thou speakest truth. Methinkest thou speakest not well. How long is it since?
About an hour, my lord.
'Tis not a mile brief we heard their drums. How couldst thou in a mile confound an hour, and bring thy news so late?
The spies of the vault held me in chase, that I was forced to wheel 3 or 4 miles about, else had I, sir, half an hour since brought my report.
He exits. Enter Martius, bloody.
Who's yonder that does appear as he were flayed? Oh gods, he has the stamp of Martius, and I have before time seen him thus.
Am I too late?
The shepherd knows not thunder from a tabor more than I know the sound of Martius' tongue from every meaner man.
Am I too late?
Aye, if you come not in the blood of others, but mantled in your own.
Let me clip you in arms that sounds as well as when I wooed, in heart as merry as when our nuptial day was done, and tapers burnt me bedward.
Flowers of warriors, how is it with Titius Lartius?
As with a man busied with decrees, condemning some to death and some to exile, ransoming him or pitying, threatening the other, holding Coriolanus in the name of Rome, even like a fawning greyhound in the leash, to let him slip at will.
Where is that slave which told me they had beat you to your trenches? Where is he? Call him hither.
Let him alone. He did inform the truth, but for our gentlemen, the common file, a plague. Tribunes, for them the mouse ne'er shunned the cat, as they did dodge from rascals worse than they.
But how prevailed you?
Will the time serve to tell? I do not think. Where is the enemy? Are you lords of the field? If not, why cease you till you are so?
Martius, we have at disadvantage fought, and did retire to win our purpose.
Now lies their battle. Know you on which side they have placed their men of trust?
As I guess, Martius, their bands of the wayward are the antithesis of their best trust, or them Ophidius, their very heart of hope.
Beseech you, by all the battles wherein we have fought, by the blood we have shed together, by the blood we have shed, and by the vows we have made to endure friends, that you directly set me against Ophidius and his Antiades, and that you not delay the present, but filling the air with swords advanced with and darts, we prove this very hour.
Though I could wish you were conducted to a gentle bath and balms applied to you, yet dare I never deny your asking. Take your choice of those that best can aid your action.
Those are they that are most willing, if they such be here, as it were sin to doubt, that love this painting wherein you see me smeared. If any fear lesser his person than an ill report, if any think brave death outweighs bad life, and that this country is dearer than that his country is dearer than himself, let him alone. Or so many so minded wave thus to express his disposition, and follow Martius. Raise his sword. They all shout and wave their swords, taking up the arms. Oh, me alone? Make you a sword of me if these shows be not outward, which of you, but is for Volsus. None of you but is able to bear against the great Ophidius, a shield as hard as his. A certain number, though thanks to all, must I select from all. The rest shall bear the business in some other fight. As cause will be obeyed, please, to your march, and I shall quickly draw out my command, which men are best inclined.
March on, my fellows. Make good this ostentation, and you shall divide in all with us.
They exit. Scene 7. Enter Titus Lartius, having set a guard upon Coriolanus, going with drum and trumpet toward Cominius and Caius Martius. Enters with a lieutenant, other soldiers, and a scout.
One moment. So, let the ports be guarded. Keep your duties as I have set them down. If I do send, dispatch those centuries to our aid. The rest will serve for a short holding. If we lose the field, we cannot keep the town.
I fear not our care, sir.
Hence, and shut your gates upon it. Our guider come to the Roman camp conduct us.
They exit. Lieutenant one way, Martius the other. Scene 8. Alarm as in battle. Enter Martius and Ophidius at several doors.
What about
Barn? I'll fight with none but thee, for I do hate thee worse than a promise breaker.
We hate alike. Not Afric owns a serpent I abhor more than thy fame and envy. Fix thy foot.
Let the first budger die, the other slave, and the gods doom him after.
If I fly, Marcius, hollow me like a hare.
Within these 3 hours, tell us, alone I fought in your Coriolanus' walls, and made that what work I pleased. Is not my blood wherein thou seest me masked, for thy revenge. Wrench up thy power at the highest.
Wert thou the Hector that was the whip of your brag progeny, thou shouldst not skate me here.
They fight, and certain vultures come in with the aid of Ophidius.
Officious and not valiant, you have shamed me in your condemned seconds.
Martius fights till they have driven in breathless. Ophidius and Martius exit separately. Scene 9. Alarm. A retreat is sounded. Flourish. Enter at one door Cominius and the Romans at another door. Martius with his arm in a scarf.
If I should tell thee o'er this thy day's work, thou'lt not believe thy deeds, but I'll report it. Where senators shall mingle tears with smiles, where great patricians shall attend and shrug, if the end a mire, where ladies shall be frightened and gladly quake to hear more, where the dull tribunes, that with the fusty plebeians hate thine honors, shall say against their hearts, we thank the gods our Rome hath such a soldier. Yet camest thou to a morsel of this feast, having fully dined before.
Enter Titus Lartius with his power from the pursuit. Susan?
I gave them all back to Eleanor Lartius.
Yeah, then Eleanor?
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are we again?
Line, scene.
Oh, I got it. All right. I'm sorry. Oh, General, here is the steed we the comparison hadst thou beheld.
Pray now no more. My mother, who has a charter to extol her blood when she does praise me, grieves me. I have none as you have done. That's what I can. Induce as you have been. That's for my country. He that has but affected his goodwill hath o'ertaken my act.
You shall not be the grave of your deserving. Rome must know the value of her own. 'Twere a concealment worse than theft, no less than a transducement, to hide your doings, and to silence that which to the spire and top of praises vouched would seem but modest. Therefore, I beseech you, in sign of what you are, not to reward what you have done, before our army hear me.
I have some wounds upon me, and they smart to hear themselves remembered.
Should they not? Well, might they fester against ingratitude, and tempt themselves with death. Of all the horses, whereof we have taken good and good store, of all the treasure in this field achieved in city, we render you to the 10th, to be taken forth before the common distribution, at your only choice.
I thank you, General, but cannot make my heart consent to take a bribe to pay my sword. I do refuse it. But stand upon my common part with those that have beheld the doing. The long flourish they all cry, Martius, Martius, and cast up their caps and lances, Cominius and Lartius stand there. May these same instruments which you profane never sound more, when drums and trumpets shall in the field prove flatterers, that courts and cities be made, all false-faced something. When steel grows soft as the parasite's silk, let him be made an overture for the wars. No more, I say, for that I have not washed my nose that bled, or foiled some debile wretch which, without note, as many else have done. You shout me forth in exclamations hyperbolical, as if I loved my little should be dieted in praises sauced with lies.
Too modest are you, more cruel to your good report than grateful to us that give you truly. By your patience, if against yourself you be incensed, will put you like one that means his proper harm in manacles, then reason safely with you. Therefore be it known as to us, to all the world, that Caius Martius wears this war's garland, in token of the which my noble steed, known to the camp, I give him, with all his trim belonging. And from this time, for what he did before Coriolanus, call him with all the applause and clamor of the host, Martius Caius Coriolanus. Bear thy addition nobly ever.
Flourish, trumpet sound.
Martius Caius Coriolanus.
Marcus Caius Coriolanus.
I will go wash, and when my face is fair, you shall perceive whether I blush or no. Howbeit, I thank you. I mean to stride your steed, and at all times be under crest your good addition, the farthest of my power.
So, to our tent, where'er we do repose us, we will write to Rome of our success. You, Titus Lartius, must to Coriolanus back. Send us to Rome the best with whom we may articulate for their own good and ours.
I shall, my lord.
Gods begin to mock me, I that now refuse most princely gifts am bound to beg for my lord general.
Take it. 'Tis yours. What is it?
I sometime lay here in Coriolanus at a poor man's house. He used me kindly. He cried to me. I saw him prisoner. But then Ophidius was within my view, and wrath overwhelmed my pity. I request you to give my poor host freedom.
Oh, well begged. Were he the butcher of my son, he should be free as the wind. Deliver him, Titus.
Marcus, his name.
Jupiter, I forgot. I am weary. Yea, my memory is tired. Have we no wine here?
Go we to our tent. The blood upon your visage dries. 'Tis time. It should be looked to. Come.
Flourish of cornets, they exit. Scene 10. Enter Tullius Ophidius, bloody, with 2 or 3 soldiers.
Town is ta'en.
Will be delivered back on good condition.
Condition? I would I were a Roman, for I cannot, being a Volsi, be that I am. Condition? What good condition can a treaty find in the part that is at mercy? 5 times, Marcius, I have fought with thee. So often hast thou beat me, and wouldst do so, I think, should we encounter as often as we eat. By the elements, if e'er again I meet him beard to beard, he's mine, or I am his. Mine emulation hath not the honor it had, for where I thought to crush him in an equal force, true sword to sword, I'll potch at him some way, or wrath or craft may get him.
He's the devil.
Bolder, though not so subtle, my valor's poisoned with only suffering stain by him. For him shall fly out of itself, nor sleep nor sanctuary, being naked, sick, nor fane nor capital, the prayers of priests nor times of sacrifice, embarkments all of fury, shall lift up their rotten privilege and custom against my hate to Marcius. Where I find him, were it at home, upon my brother's guard, even there, against the hospitable cannon, would I wash my fierce hand in his heart. Go you to the city, learn how 'tis held, and what they are that must be hostages for Rome.
Will not you go?
I am attended at the cypress grove. I pray you, 'tis south the city mills. Bring me word thither how the world goes, that to the pace of it I may spur on my journey.
I shall, sir.
They exit Ophidius through one door, soldiers another. Bjorn, could you turn off your video when you're not in the scene?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Act 2, Scene 1. Enter Menenius with the 2 tribunes of the people, Sicinius and Brutus.
Dogger tells me we shall have news tonight.
Good or bad?
Not according to the prayer of the people, for they love not Marcius.
Nature teaches beasts to know their friends.
Pray you, who does the wolf love?
The lamb.
To devour him, as the hungry plebeians would the noble Marcius.
He is a lamb indeed, that bays like a bear.
He's a bear indeed that lives like a lamb. You two are old men. Tell me one thing that I shall ask you.
Well, sir.
In what enormity is Marcius poor in that you two have not in abundance?
He's poor in no one fault, but stored with all.
Especially in pride.
And topping all others in boasting.
This is strange now. Do you two know how you are censured here in the city? So the right-hand file. Do you know?
Why, how are we censured?
Are we censured?
Because you talk of pride now. Will you not be angry?
Well,
Wow.
well, sir. Well.
Wow.
Well, 'tis no great matter, for a very little thief of occasion will rob you of a great deal of patience. Give your dispositions the reins, and be angry at your pleasures at the least. If you take it as a pleasure to you in being so, you blame Marcius for being proud.
We do it not alone, sir.
I know you can do very little alone, for your helps are many, or else your actions would grow wondrous single. Your abilities are too infant-like for doing much alone. You talk of pride, oh, that you could turn your eyes toward the napes of your necks and make but an interior survey of your good selves. Oh, that you could.
What then, sir?
Why, then, you should discover a brace of unmeriting, proud, violent, testy magistrates, alias fools, as any in Rome.
Menenius, you are know well enough too.
I am known to be a humorous patrician, and one that loves a cup of hot wine with not a drop of a laying Tiber in it. Said to be something imperfect in favoring the first complaint, hasty and tinder-like upon too trivial emotion, one that converses more with the buttock of the night than with the forehead of the morning. What I think I utter, and spend my malice in my breath, meeting two such wheelsmen as you are. I cannot call you Lycurguses. If the drink you give me touch my palate adversely, I make a crooked face at it. I cannot say your worships have delivered the matter well, when I find the ass in the compound of the major part of your syllables. And though I must be content to bear with those that say you are reverend, grave men, yet they lie deadly that tell you have good faces. If you see this in the map of my microcosm, follow it that I am known well enough too. What harm can your bisum conspicuities glean out of this character, if I be known well enough too?
Come, sir, come. We know you well enough.
You know neither me, yourselves, nor anything. You are ambitious for poor knaves' caps and legs. You wear out a good, wholesome forenoon in hearing a cause between an orange wife and a faucet seller, and then rejoin the controversy with 3 pence to a second day of audience, when you are hearing a matter between party and party. If you chance to be pinched with the colic, you make faces like mummers, set upon the bloody flag against all patience, and in roaring for a chamber pot, dismiss the controversy bleeding, the more entangled by your hearing. All the peace you make in these cases is calling both the parties knaves. You are a pair of strange ones.
You are well understood to be a perfecter jiber for the table than a necessary bencher in the Capitol.
Our very priests must become mockers if they shall encounter such ridiculous subjects as you are. When you speak best under the purpose, it is not worth the wagging of your beards, and your beards deserve not so honorable a grave as to stuff a botcher's cushion, or to be entombed in an ass's pack saddle. Yet you must be saying Marcius is proud, who, in a cheap estimation, is worth all of your predecessors since Deucalion, though peradventure some of the best of them were hereditary hangmen. Good e'en to your worships. More of your conversation would infect my brain. Being the herdsman of the beastly plebeians, I will be bold to take my leave of you.
Begins to exit. Brutus is sitting and stand aside. Enter Volumnia, Virgilia, and Valeria.
Oh, how now! As my fair as noble ladies, and nor were she earthly No, nobler. Whither do you follow your eyes so fast?
Honorable Millennius, my boy, Marcius approaches. For the love of Juno, let's go.
Ah, Marcius coming home.
I, worthy Millennius, and with some most prosperous approbation.
Take my hat, Jupiter, and I thank thee. Oh, Marcius coming home.
H is true.
Look, here's a letter from him. The state hath another, his wife hath another, and I think that there's one at home for you.
Oh, I will make my very house reel tonight. A letter for me?
Yes, it's certain. There's a letter for you. I saw it.
A letter for me. It gives me an estate of 7 years' health, in which time I will make a lip at the physician. The most sovereign prescription in Galen is but impuricate, and to this preservative of no better report than a horse drench. Is he not wounded? He was wont to come home wounded.
No.
Oh, he is wounded, and I thank the gods for it.
So do I too, if it be not too much. Brings he victory in his pocket, the wounds become him.
On his brows, Menenius. He comes in the third time home with the oaken garland.
Has he disciplined Aufidius soundly?
Titus Lartius writes that they fought together, but Aufidius got off.
It was time for him too, I'll warrant that. And he stayed by him. I would not have been so Phidias for all the chests and Coriolanus and the gold that's in him. Is the Senate possessed of this?
Good ladies, let's go. Yes. The Senate has letters from the general, wherein he gives my son the whole name of the war. He hath in this action outdone his former deeds doubly.
I'm Virgilia.
Valeria in this one also.
In troth, there's wondrous things spoke of him.
Wondrous, I warrant you, and not without his true purchasing.
The gods grant them true.
True powwow.
True? I'll be sworn they are true. Oh, where is he wounded? God save your good worships. Marcius is coming home. He has more cause to be proud. Where is he wounded?
In the shoulder and in the arm. There will be large cicatrices to show the people when he shall stand for his place. He received in the repulse of Tarquin 7 hurts in the body.
1 in the neck, 2 in the thigh. There's 9 that I know.
He had before this last expedition 25 wounds upon him.
Now it's 27. Every gash was an enemy's grave. Hark, the trumpets!
These are the ushers of Marcius. Before him he carries noise, and behind him he leaves tears. Death, dark spirit, in his nervy arm doth lie, which, being advanced, declines, and then men die.
Senate. Enter Cominius, the general, and Titus Lartius between them. Coriolanus crowned with an oaken garland, with captains and soldiers, and a herald trumpet sound.
Know Rome that all alone Marcius did fight within Coriolanus gates, where he hath won, with fame a name to Marcius Caius. These in honor follows Coriolanus. Welcome to Rome, renowned Coriolanus.
Sound, flirt.
Welcome to Rome, renowned Coriolanus.
No more of this.
Coriolanus!
No more of this. It doesn't offend my heart. Pray, no more. Phineas. Bjorn?
Sorry. Look, sir, your mother.
You have, I know, petitioned all the gods for my prosperity.
Nay, my good soldier, up. My gentle Marcius, worthy Caius, and by deed achieving honor newly named, what is it? Coriolanus must I call thee? Oh, thy wife.
My gracious silence, hail. Wouldst thou have laughed had I come coffin home, that weepest to see me triumph? Ah, my dear, such eyes the widows in Coriolanus wear, and mothers that lack sons.
Now the gods crown thee.
And live you yet. Oh, my sweet lady, pardon.
Oh, I know not where to turn. Oh, welcome home, and welcome, General, and you're welcome all.
100,000 welcomes. I could weep and I could laugh. I am light and heavy. Welcome. Curse begin it very rude on one's heart that's not glad to see thee. You are three that Rome should dote on. Yet by the faith of men, we have some old crab trees here at home that will not be grafted to your relish. Yet welcome, warriors. We call a nettle but a nettle, and the faults of fools are but folly.
Bjorn?
Ever right. Sorry.
Menenius. Ever.
Give way there and go on.
Your hand and yours, ere in our own house, I do shade my head. The good patricians must be visited, from whom I have received not only greetings, but with them change of honors.
I have lived to see inherited my very wishes and the buildings of my fancy. Only there's one thing wanting, which I doubt not, but our Rome will cast upon thee.
No, good mother. I had rather be their servant in my way than sway with them in theirs.
On to the capital.
Flourish of cornets. They exit in state as before. Brutus and Sicinius, come forward.
All tongues speak of him, and the blessed sights are spectacled to see him. Your prattling nurse into a rapture lets her baby cry while she chats him. The kitchen malkin pins her richest lockram about her reachy neck, clambering the walls to eye him. Stalls, bulks, windows are smothered up, leads filled and ridges horsed, with variable complexions, all agreeing in earnestness to see him. Seld shown flamens do press among the popular throngs, and puff to win a vulgar station. Or veiled dames commit the war of white and damask, and their nicely godded cheeks to the wanton spoil of Phoebus' burning kisses. Such a pother as if that whatsoever god who leads him were slyly crept into his human powers, and give him graceful posture.
On the sudden, I warned him counsel.
Then our office may, during his power, go sleep.
He cannot temperately transport his honors from where he should begin and end, but will lose those he hath won.
In that there's comfort.
Now, not the commoners for whom we stand, but they upon their ancient malice will forget with the least cause these his new honors, which that he will give them, make I as little question as he is proud to do it.
I heard him swear, were he to stand for consul, never would he appear in the marketplace, nor on him put the napless venture of humility, nor showing, as the manner is, his wounds to the people, beg their stinking breaths.
'Tis right.
It was his word. Oh, he would miss it rather than carry it, but by the suit of the gentry to him and the desire of the nobles.
I wish no better than have him hold that purpose and to put it in execution.
'Tis most like he will.
It shall be to him then as our goodwill's assured destruction.
So it must fall out to him on our authorities. For an end, we must suggest the people in what hatred he still hath held them, that to his power he would have made them mules, silenced their pleaders, and dispropertied their freedoms, holding them in human action and capacity of no more soul nor fitness for the world than camels in the war, who have their provend only for bearing burdens and sore blows for sinking under them.
This, as you say, suggested at some time when his soaring insolence shall teach the people, which time shall not want, if he be put upon it, and that's as easy as to set dogs on sheep, will be his fire to kindle their dry stubble, and their blaze shall darken him forever.
What's the matter?
Bjorn, could you turn your video? Sorry, enter messenger.
What's the matter?
Bjorn, your video. Could you turn that? Thank you. Sorry, enter messenger. Sorry.
You're sent for to the capital. 'Tis thought that Marcius shall be consul. I've seen the dumb men throng to see him, and the blind to hear him speak. Matrons flung gloves, ladies and maids their scarfs and handkerchiefs upon him as he passed. The nobles bended as to Jove's statue, and the commons made a shower and thunder with their caps and shouts. I never saw the like.
Let's to the capital and carry with us ears and eyes for the time, hearts for the event.
Have with you.
They exit. Scene 2. Enter 2 officers to lay cushions, as it were, in the capital.
Come. They're almost here. How many stand for consulship?
3, they say, but 'tis thought of every one Coriolanus will carry it.
That's a brave fellow, but he's vengeance and loves not the common people.
Faith, there had been many great men that have flattered the people, who never loved them. And there be many that they have loved, they know not wherefore, so that if they love they know not why, they hate upon no better ground. Therefore, for Coriolanus neither to care whether they love or hate him manifests the true knowledge he has in their disposition, and out of his noble carelessness lets them plainly see it.
If he did not care whether he had their love or no, he waved indifferently, twixt doing them neither good nor harm. But he seeks their hate with greater devotion than they can render it him, and leaves nothing undone that may fully discover him their opposite. Now, to seem to affect the malice and displeasure of the people is as bad as that which he dislikes, to flatter them for their love.
He hath deserved worthily of his country, and his ascent is not by such easy degrees as those who, having been supple and courteous to the people, bonneted without any further deed to have them at that and into their estimation and report. But he hath so planted his honors in their eyes, and his actions in their hearts, that for their tongues to be silent and not to confess so much were a kind of ingrateful injury. To report otherwise were a malice that, giving itself the lie, would pluck reproof and rebuke from every ear that heard it.
No more of him. He's a worthy man. Make way. They're coming.
The Senate enter the patricians and the tribunes of the people. Lectors before them Coriolanus, Cominius, the consul, patricians sit. Sicinius and Brutus take their places by themselves. Coriolanus stands.
Having determined of the vultures and to send for Titus Laertius, it remains, as the main point of this our after meeting, to gratify his noble service that hath thus stood for his country. Therefore, please you, most reverend and grave elders, to desire the present consul and last general in our well-found successes, to report a little of that worthy work performed by Marcius Caius Coriolanus, whom we met here both to thank and to remember with honors like himself.
Coriolanus sits.
Speak, good Cominius. Leave nothing out for length, and make us think rather our state's defective for requital than we to stretch it out. Masters of the people, we do request your kindest ears, and after your loving motion toward the common body to yield what passes here.
We're convented upon a pleasing treaty, and have hearts inclinable to honor and advance the theme of our assembly.
Which the rather we shall be blessed to do, if he remember a kinder value of the people than he hath hereto prized them at.
Oh, that's off. That's off. I would rather you had been silent. Please you to hear Cominius speak.
Most willingly, but yet my caution was more pertinent than the rebuke you give it.
He loves your people, but tie him not to be their bedfellow. Worthy Cominius, speak.
Coriolanus rises and offers to go away.
Nay, keep your place.
Sit, Coriolanus. Never shame to hear what you have nobly done.
Your Honor's pardon, I had rather have my wounds to heal again than hear say how I got them.
Sir, I hope my words dispensed you not.
No, sir. Yet oft, when blows have made me stay, I fled from words. You soothed, but therefore hurt not, but your people I love them as they weigh.
Pray now, sit down.
I had rather have one scratch my head of the sun when the alarm was struck than idly sit to hear my nothings monstered. Coriolanus exits.
Masters of the people, your multiplying spawn, how can he flatter that's thousands to one good one when you now see he had rather venture all his limbs for honor than one on't ear to hear it? Proceed, Cominius.
I shall lack voice. The deeds of Coriolanus should not be uttered feebly. It is held that valor is the cheapest virtue, and most dignifies the haver if it be. The man I speak of cannot in the world be singly counterpoised. At 16 years, when Tarquin made a head for Rome, he fought beyond the mark of others. Our then dictator, whom with all praise I point, saw him fight, when with his Amazonian chin he drove the bristled lips before him. He bestrid an o'er-pressed Roman, and ere the consul's view, slew 3 opposers. Tarquin's self he met, and struck him on the knee. In that day's feats, when he might act woman in the scene, he proved best the man in the field, and for his meed was brow bound with the oak. His pupil age, man entered thus. He waxed like a sea, and in the brunt of 17 battles since, he lurched all swords of the garland. For this last, before and in Coriolanus, let me say, I cannot speak him home. He stopped the flyers, and by his rare example made the coward turn terror into sport. As weeds before a vessel under sail, so men obeyed and fell below his stem. His sword's death stamp where it did mark, it took from face to foot. He was a thing of blood, whose every motion was timed with dying cries. Alone he entered the mortal gate of the city, which he painted with shunless destiny. Aidless came off, and with a sudden reinforcement struck Coriolanus like a planet. Now all's his. When by and by the din of war gained pierce his ready stance, he then straight his doubled spirit, requickened what in flesh was fatigue, and to the battle came he, where he did run reeking o'er the lives of men, as if 'twere perpetual spoil, until we called both field and city ours. He never stood to ease his breast with painting.
Worthy man.
He cannot but with measure fit the honors which we devise him.
Our spoils he kicked at, and looked upon things precious as they were the common muck of the world. He covet less than misery itself would give, reward his deeds with doing them, and is content to spend the time to end it.
He's right, noble. Let him be called for.
Call Coriolanus.
He doth appear.
The Senate, Coriolanus, are well pleased to make thee consul.
I do owe them still my life and services.
It then remains that you do speak to the people.
I do beseech you, let me o'erleap that custom, for I cannot put on the gown, stand naked, and entreat them for my wound's sake to give their suffrage. Please you that I may pass this doing. Licinius?
Sir, the people must have their voices. They make one jot of ceremony.
Put to them not to it. Pray you, go fit you to the custom, and take to you, as your predecessors have, your honor with your form.
It is a part that I shall blush in acting, and might well be taken from the people.
Mark you that.
To brag unto them, thus I did, and thus show them the unaching scars which I should hide, as if I had received them for the hire of their breath only.
Do not stand upon it. We recommend you, tribunes of the people, our purpose to them and to our noble consul, wish we all joy and honor.
To Coriolanus come all joy and honor.
Flourish, cornets, then they exit. Sicinius and Brutus remain.
See how he intends to use the people?
May they perceive his intent. He'll require them as if he did contemn what he requested should be in them to give.
Come, we'll inform them of our proceedings here. On the marketplace, I know they do attend us.
They exit. Scene 3. Enter 7 or 8 citizens.
What if he do require our voices? We ought not to deny him.
We may, sir, if we will.
We have power in ourselves to do it, but it is a power that we have no power to do, for if he show us his wounds and tell us his deeds, we are to put our tongues into those wounds and speak for them. So if he tell us his noble deeds, we must also tell him our noble acceptance of them. Ingratitude is monstrous, and for the multitude to be ungrateful were to make a monster of the multitude, of the which we, being members, should bring ourselves to be monstrous members.
And to make us no better thought of, a little help will serve. For once we stood up about the corn, he himself stuck not to call us the many-headed multitude.
We have been called so of many, not that our heads are some round, some black, some Abram, some bald, but that our wits are so diversely colored. And truly, I think if all our wits were to issue out of one skull, they would fly east, west, north, south, and their consent of one direct way should be at once to all the points of the compass.
Think you so? Which way do you judge my wit would fly?
Oh, nay, your wit would not so soon out as another man's wit. 'Tis strongly wedged up in a blockhead. But if we're at liberty, twould sure southward.
Why that way?
To lose itself in a fog, where, being 3 parts melted away with rotten dews, the 4th would return for conscience sake, to help get thee a wife.
You are never without your tricks. You may.
Or you all resolve to give your voices, but that's no matter, the greater part carries it. I say, if he were inclined to the people, there was never a worthier man.
Enter Coriolanus in the gown of humility with Menenius.
Here he comes, and in the gown of humility. Mark his behavior. We are not to stay all together, but to come by him where he stands, by 1s, by 2s, and by 3s. He's to make his requests by particulars, wherein every one of us has a single honor in giving him our voices with our own tongues. But Therefore follow me, and I'll direct you how you shall go by him.
Intent.
Citizens exit.
Sir, you are not right. Have you not known the worthiest men have done it?
What must I say? I pray, sir, plague upon it. I cannot bring my tongue to such a pace. Look, sir, my wounds. I got them in my country's service when some certain of your brethren roared and ran with the noise of our own drums.
Oh, me the gods! You must not speak of that. You must desire them to think upon you.
Think upon me? Hang 'em, they would forget me like the virtues which our divines lose by 'em.
You mar I'll leave you. Pray you, speak to him. I pray you in wholesome manner.
Yes, bid them wash their faces and keep their teeth clean. Enter 3 of the citizens. So, here comes a brace. You know the cause, sir, of my standing here.
We do, sir. Tell us what hath brought you to it.
Mine own desert.
Your own dessert.
Oops, sorry.
Aye, but not mine own desire.
How not your own desire?
No, sir, 'twas never my desire to let trouble the poor with begging.
You must think if we give you anything, we hope to gain by you.
Well, then I pray your prince of the consulship, your price of the consulship.
Prices to ask it kindly.
Kindly, sir. I pray, let me have. I have wounds to show you which shall be yours in private. Your good voice, sir, what say you?
You shall have it, worthy sir.
A match, sir. There's an all too worthy voices begged I have your alms. Adieu.
But this is something odd.
And twere to give again, that 'tis no matter.
These citizens exit. Enter 2 other citizens. I pray you now, if it may stand with the tune of your voices, that I may be consul. I have here the customary gown.
You have deserved nobly of your country, and you have not deserved nobly.
Your enigma?
You have been a scourge to her enemies. You have been a rod to her friends. You have not indeed loved the common people.
You should account me the more virtuous that I have not been common in my love. I will so flatter my sworn brother, the people, to earn a dearer estimation of them. 'Tis a condition they account gentle, since the wisdom of their choice is rather to have my hat than my heart. I will practice the insinuating nod and be off to them most counterfeitedly. That is, sir, I will counterfeit the bewitchment of some popular man, and give it bountiful to the desires. Therefore, beseech you, I may be consul.
We hope to find you our friend, and therefore give you our voices heartily.
You have received many wounds for your country.
I will not steal your knowledge with showing them. I will make much of your voices, and so trouble you no further.
The gods
give you joy, sir, heartily.
Citizens exit. Most sweet voices. Better it is to die, better to starve than to crave the higher, which first we do deserve. Why in this wolfish tongue should I stand here to beg of Hob and Dick that does appear their needless vouchers? Custom calls me to it. What custom wills and all things should we do? The dust on antique time would lie unswept. The mountainous error be too highly heaped for truth to o'erpeer. Rather than fool it so, let the high office and the honor go to one that would do this. I am half through, the one part suffered, the other I will do. Here come other voices, your voices. For your voices I have fought, watched for your voices, for your voices bear wounds 24 odd, battles thrice 6, I have seen and heard of, for your voices have done many things, some less, some more. Your voices, indeed, I would be consul.
He has done nobly and cannot go without an honest man's voice.
Therefore, let him be consul. The gods give him joy and make him good friend to the people.
Amen, amen. God save thee, noble counsel.
Noble counsel.
Citizens exit. Worthy voices. Enter Menenius, Brutus, and Sicinius.
You have stood your limitation, and the tribunes endue you with the people's voice. Remains that, in the official mark invested, you anon do meet the Senate.
This is done. Is this done?
The customer request you have discharged. The people do admit you and are summoned to meet anon upon your approbation.
Where? At the Senate House?
There, Coriolanus.
May I change these garments?
You may, sir.
That I'll straight do, and knowing myself again repair at the Senate House.
I'll keep you company. Will you along?
We stay here for the people.
Fare you well.
Coriolanus and Menenius exit.
He has it now, and by his looks, methinks 'tis warm at heart.
With a proud heart he wore his humble weeds. Will you dismiss the people?
How now,
Enter the plebeians.
my masters? Have you chose this man? He has our voices, sir.
We pray the gods he may deserve your loves. Amen, sir. Amen. To my poor unworthy notice, he mocked us when he begged our voices.
Certainly, he flouted us downright.
No, 'tis his kind of speech. He did not mock us.
Not one amongst us, save yourself, but says he used us scornfully. He should have showed us his marks of merit, wounds received for his country.
Why, so he did, I'm sure.
Nope, no man saw him.
He said he had wounds which he could show in private. And with his hat thus waving it in scorn, I would be counsel, said he. Aged custom, but by your voices will not so permit me. Your voices, therefore. When we granted that, here was, I thank you for your voices. Thank you for your most sweet voices. Now you have left your voices, I have no further with you. Was this not mockery?
Why, either were you ignorant to see it, or seeing it of such childish friendliness to use your voices.
Could you not have told him as you were lessoned? When he had no power, but was a petty servant to the state, he was your enemy, never spake against your liberties and the charters that you bear in the body of the wheel. And now, arriving a place of potency and sway of the state, if he should still malignantly remain fast foe to the plebea, your voices might be curses to yourselves. You should have said that as his worthy deeds did claim no less than what he stood for, so his gracious nature would think upon you for your voices, and translate his malice towards you into love, standing your friendly lord.
Just have said, as you were advised, had touched his spirit, and tried his inclination. From him plucked either his gracious promise, which you might as cause had called you up, have held him to, or else it would have galled his surly nature, which usually endures not article, tying him to aught, so putting him to rage. You should have taken advantage of his collar and passed him unelected.
Did you perceive he did solicit you in free contempt when he did need your loves? And do you think that his contempt should not be bruising to you when he hath power to crush? Why, had your bodies no heart among you? Or had your tongues to cry against the rectorship of judgment?
Have you ere now denied the asker, and now again of him that did not ask but mocked, bestow your sued 4 tongues?
He's not confirmed. We may deny him yet.
And will deny him. I'll have 500 voices of that sound.
I twice 500, and the friends to pierce him.
Get you hence instantly, and tell those friends that they've chosen a council that will from them take their liberties, make them of no more voice than dogs that are as often beat for barking as therefore kept to do so.
Let them assemble, and on a safer judgment, I'll revoke your ignorant election. Enforce his pride and his old hate unto you. Besides, forget not with what contempt he wore the humble weed, how in his suit he scorned you, but your loves, thinking upon his services, took from you the apprehension of his present portents, which most gibingly, ungravely he did fasten after the inveterate hate he bears you.
Lay a fault on us, your tribunes, that we labored no impediment between, but you must cast your election on him.
Say you chose him more after our commandment than as guided by your own true affections, and that your minds preoccupied with what you rather must do than what you should, made you get the grave to voice in council, lay the fault on us.
Aye, spare us not. Say, we read lectures to you, how youngly he began to serve his country, how long continued, and what stock he springs of, the noble house of the Martians, from whence he came, that Ancus Marchus, Numa's daughter's son, who after great Hostilius here was king, of the same house Publius and Quintus were, that our best water brought by conduits hither, and Censorinus, that was so surnamed and nobly named, so twice being censor, was his great ancestor.
One thus descended, that hath beside well in his person wrought, to be set high in place, we did commend to your remembrances, but you have found, scaling his present bearing with his past, that he's your fixed enemy, and revoke your sudden approbation.
Say you ne'er done it, harp on that still, but by our putting on. And presently, when you have drawn your number, repair to the capital.
We'll do so.
Almost
All repent in their election. Let them go on. This mutiny were better put in hazard than stay past doubt for greater. If, as his nature is, he fall in rage with their refusal, both observe and answer the vantage of his anger.
To the capital, come! We will be there before the stream of the people, and this shall seem as partly 'tis their own, which we have goaded onward.
They exit. Act 3, Scene 1, Cornets. Enter Coriolanus, Menenius, all the gentry, Cominius, Titus Lartius, and other senators. Titus Ophidius then had made new head.
He had, my lord, and that it was which caused our swifter composition.
So then live also stand, but as at first, ready when time shall prompt them to make road upon us again.
Fair warned, Lord Consul, so that we shall hardly in our ages see their banners wave again.
So you, Ophidius?
On safeguard he came to me, and did curse against the vultures, for they had so vilely yielded the town. He is retired to Antium.
Spoke he of me?
He did, my lord.
How? What?
How often he had met you, sword to sword, that of all things upon the earth he hated your person most, that he would pawn his fortunes to hopeless restitution, so he might be called your vanquisher.
At Antium lives he?
At Antium.
I wish I had cause to seek him there, to oppose his hatred fully. Welcome home, to Sicinius and Brutus. Behold, these are the tribunes of the people, the tongues of the common mouth. I do despise them, for they do prank them in authority against all noble sufferance.
Pass no further.
Huh? What is that?
It will be dangerous to go on no further.
What makes this charge?
The matter?
Hath he not passed the noble and the common?
Cominius, No.
Have I had children's voices?
Tribunes give way. He shelter the marketplace. The people are incensed against him.
Stop, or all will fall embroiled.
Are these your herd? Must these have voices that can yield them now, and straight disclaim their tongues? What are your offices? You being their mouths, they rule you not their teeth. Have you not set them on?
Be calm. Be calm.
It is a prosperous purpose thing that grows and grows like plot, to curb the will of the nobility, suffered and live with such as cannot rule nor ever will be ruled.
But not a plot. The people cry, you mock them, and of late, when corn was given them gratis, you repined. Scandaled the suppliants for the people, called them time pleasers, flatterers, foes to nobility.
Why, this was known before.
Not to them all.
Have you informed them thence?
How? I inform them?
You are like to do such business.
Not
Not
unlike.
unlike either way to better yours.
Why then should I be consul? By yon clouds, let me deserve so ill as you, and make me your fellow tribune.
You show too much of that, for which the people stir. If you will pass to where you are bound, you must inquire your way, which you are out of, with a gentler spirit, or never be so noble as a consul, nor yoke with him for tribune.
Let's be calm.
The people are abused, set on. This paltering becomes not Rome, nor has Coriolanus deserved this, so dishonored rub, laid falsely i' the plain way of his merit.
Tell me of corn. This was my speech, and I will speak again.
Not now, not now.
Not in this heat, sir, now.
Now, as I live, I will. My noble friends, I crave their pardon. For the beautiful, rank-scented Miney, let them regard me as I do not flatter. And therein behold themselves, I say again. In soothing them, we nourish against our Senate the cockle of rebellion, insolence, sedition, which we ourselves have plowed, forsowed, and scattered. By mingling them with us, the honored number, who lack not virtue, no, nor power, but that which they have given to beggars.
Well, no more.
No more words, we beseech you.
How? No more, as for my country I have shed my blood, not fearing outward force. So shall my lungs coin words till their decay against those measles, which we disdain, should letter to tetter us, yet sought the very way to touch them.
You speak of the people as if you were a god to punish, not a man of their infirmity.
For a while we let the people know it.
What? What? His color?
Fuller, were I as patient as the midnight sleep, by Jove, 'twould be my mind.
It is a mind that shall remain a poison where it is, not poison any further.
Shall remain. Hear you this. Triton of the minnows, mark you, is absolute shall.
'Twas from the canon.
Shall. Oh, good, but most unwise patricians, why? You grave but reckless senators, have you thus given Hydra here to choose an officer? That with his peremptory shall, being but a horn and noise of the monsters, wants not spirit to say he'll turn your current in a ditch, and make your channel his? If he have power, then veil your ignorance. If none, awake your dangerous lenity. If you are learned, be not as common folks. If you are not, let them have cushions by you. You are plebeians. If they be senators, and they are no less, well, when both your voices blended, the greatest taste most pellets them. They choose their magistrate, and such a one as he, who puts his shall, his popular shall, against a graver bench than ever frowned in Greece. By Jove himself, it makes the consul's base, and my soul aches to know when two authorities are up, neither supreme, how soon confusion may enter twixt the gap of both, and take the one by the other.
Well, on to the marketplace.
Whoever gave the consul to give forth the corn of the storehouse gratis, as 'twas used sometime in Greece.
Oh, well, no more of that.
Though there the people had more absolute power, I say they nourished disobedience, fed the ruin of the state.
Why shall the people give one that speaks thus their voice?
I'll give my reasons. More worthier than their voices, they know the corn was not our recompense. Resting well assured, they ne'er did service for it. Being pressed to the war, even when the navel of the state was touched, they would not dread the gates. This kind of service did not deserve corn gratis. Be the war, their mutinies and revolts, wherein they showed most valor, spoke for not for them. The accusation which they have often made against the Senate, all cause unborn, could never be the native of our so frank donation. Well, what then? How shall this bosom multiplied digest the Senate's courtesy? Let deeds express what's like to be their word. We did request it. We are the greatest poll. And in true fear they gave us our demands. Thus we debase the nature of our seats, and make the rabble call our cares fears, which will in time break open the locks of the Senate and bring in the crows to peck the eagles.
Come, enough.
Enough with over measure.
No, take more. What may be sworn by both divine and human, seal what I end withal. This double worship, where one part does disdain with cause, the other insult without all reason, where gentry, title, wisdom cannot conclude, but by the yea or no of general ignorance must omit real necessities and give way the while to unstable slightness. Purpose so barred, it follows, nothing is done to purpose. Therefore beseech you, you that will be less fearful than discreet, that love the fundamental part of state more than you doubt the change on it, that prefer a noble life before a long, and wish to dump a body with a dangerous psychic, that's sure of death without it. At once pluck out the multitudinous tongue. Let them not lick the sweet, which is their poison. Your dishonor mangles true judgment and bereaves the state of that integrity which should become it. Not having the power to do the long, to do the good it would, with ill which doth control it.
Is said enough.
Justinius?
I'm sorry.
Has said enough.
I'm sorry, where are we?
205.
Line 205.
No, that won't help me.
Act 3, Scene 2.
Act 3, Scene 1.
Act 3, Scene 1, yes. Right.
Has said enough?
Yeah, I just said that. Has said enough, yeah.
Okay. He's spoken like a traitor and shall answer as traitors do.
Thou wretch despiteful overwhelm thee. What should the people do with these bold tribunes on whom depending their obedience fails? The greater bench in a rebellion, when what's not meat, but what must be was law. When were they chosen? Then they were chosen. In a better hour, let what is meat be said, it must be meat, and throw their power in the dust.
Manifest treason.
This a council? No.
The Idiles, ho! Let him be apprehended.
Enter, and I delay.
Go call the people, in whose name myself attach thee as a traitorous innovator, a foe to the public weal. Obey, I charge thee, and follow to thine answer.
And my phone just quit. Hold on. It's gonna quit on me.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Shall we take our intermission now?
No, not yet. I'll just give me a second. My phone, absolutely.
Oh, I know. They have a life of their own.
There we go. Okay, the next PC here. And sorry about this. Act 3, Scene 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if it's any
Which
help.
line? Which line? Which line?
223
Oh, okay.
or 222, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll read it again.
Okay,
Go
go.
all the people in whose name myself attach thee as a traitorous innovator, a foe to the public weal. Obey, I charge thee, and follow to thine answer.
Cancel, goat.
We'll shorty him.
He'd start hands off.
Hence, rotten thing, or I shall shake thy bones out of thy garments.
Help, ye citizens.
And for a rabble of plebeians and idols.
On both sides, more respect.
Here's he that would take from you all your power.
Seize him, Idiles.
Down with him. Down with him. Weapons, weapons, weapons.
They all bustle about Coriolanus.
Peace, peace, peace. Stay, hold, peace.
Oh, what is about to be? I am out of breath. Confusion's near. I cannot speak. You tribunes to the people. Coriolanus, patience. Speak, good Sicinius.
Hear me, people. Peace.
Let's hear our tribune. Peace. Speak, speak, speak.
You are at point to lose your liberties. Martius would have all from you. Martius, whom late you have named for council.
Fie, this is the way to kindle, not to quench.
To unbuild the city and to lay all flat.
What is the city but the people?
True, the people are the city. By the consent of all, we were established the people's magistrates.
You so
And
remain.
so remain.
And so are like to do.
That is the way to lay the city flat, to bring the roof to the foundation and bury all, which yet distinctly ranges in heaps and piles of ruin.
This deserves death.
Or let us stand to our authority, or let us lose it. We do here pronounce upon the part of the people in whose power we were elected theirs, Marcius is worthy of present death.
Therefore lay hold of him. Bear him to the rock Tarpeian, and from thence into destruction cast him.
Idly seize him. Yield, Marcius, yield.
Hear me. One word beseech you, tribunes. Hear me but a word.
Peace, peace.
Be that you seem truly your country's friend, and temperately proceed to what you would thus violently redress.
Sir, those cold ways that seem like prudent helps are very poisonous where the disease is violent. Lay hands upon him and bear him to the rock.
Coriolanus draws his sword. No, I'll die here. There some among you have beheld me fighting. Come, try upon yourselves what you have seen me.
Down with that sword. Tribunes, withdraw a while.
Lay hands upon him.
Help, Marcius, help! You that be noble, help him, young and old!
Down with him, down with him.
And it's mutiny the tribunes and aediles and the people of the inn.
Go, get you to your house. Begone, away, all will be naught else.
Get you gone.
Stand fast. We have as many friends as enemies.
Shall it be put to that?
The gods forbid. I pray thee, noble friend, home to thy house. Let us to cure this cause.
For 'tis a sore upon us. You cannot tempt yourself. Begone, beseech you.
Come, sir, along with us.
I would they were barbarians, as they are, though in Rome littered, not Romans, as they are not, though cowed to the porch of the Capitol.
Begone. Put not your worthy rage into your tongue. One time will owe another.
On fair ground I could beat 40 of them.
I could myself take up a brace for the best of them, yea, the 2 tribunes.
But now 'tis odds beyond arithmetic, and manhood is called foolery when it stands against a falling fabric. Will you hence before the tag return, whose rage doth rend like interrupted waters, nor bear what they are used to bear?
Pray you be gone. I'll try whether my old wit be in request with those that have but little. This must be patched with cloth of any color.
Nay, come away.
Coriolanus and Cominius exit. This man has enlarged his fortune.
His nature is too noble for the world. He would not flatter Neptune for his trident or Jove for his power to thunder. His heart's in his mouth. What his breast forges, that his tongue must vent, and being angry does forget that ever he heard the name of death.
The noise within.
Here's goodly work.
I would they were abed.
I would they were in Tiber. What the vengeance? Could he not speak 'em fair?
Enter Brutus and Sicinius with the rabble again.
Where is this viper that would depopulate the city and be every man himself?
You worthy tribunes,
He shall be thrown down the Tarpeian rock with vigorous hands. He hath resisted law, and therefore law shall scorn him further trial than the severity of the public power which he so sets at naught.
We shall, he shall, we know the noble tribunes are the people's mouths, and we their hands.
He shall, sure on it.
Sir,
Peace.
do not cry havoc where you should, but hunt with modest warrant.
Now, how comes that you have hoped to make this rescue?
Hear me speak, as I do know the consul's worthiness, so can I name his faults.
Consul? What consul?
The consul Coriolanus.
He consul?
No.
No, if by the tribune's leave and yours, good people, I may be heard, I would crave a word or two, the which shall turn you to no further harm than so much loss of time.
Speak briefly then, for we are peremptory to dispatch this rigorous traitor, to eject him hence. We're but one danger, and to keep him here, a certain death. Therefore it is decreed he dies tonight.
Now, the good gods forbid that our renowned Rome, whose gratitude towards her deserved children is enrolled in Jove's own book like an unnatural dam, should now eat up her own.
She's a disease that must be cut away.
Oh, he's a limb that has but a disease, mortal to cut it off, to cure it easy. What hath he done to Rome that's worthy death? Killing our enemies? The blood he hath lost, which I dare vouch is more than that he hath by many an ounce, he dropped it for his country. What is left to lose it by his country were to us all that do it and suffer it a brand to the end of the world.
This is clean, Karen.
Merely a rye. When he did love his country, it honored him.
Nice.
Sicinius.
This is Menenius's line.
Shelia.
All right. The service of the foot being once gangrened is not then respected for what before it was.
We'll hear no more. Pursue him to his house and pluck him thence, lest his infection, being of catching nature, spread further.
One more word. This tiger-footed rage, when it shall find the harm of unstand swiftness, will too late tie leaden pounds to its heels. Proceed by process, lest parties, as he is beloved, break out and stack great Rome with Romans.
If it were so...
What do you talk? Have we not had a taste of his obedience? Our edils smoked, ourselves resisted. Come.
Consider this. He has been bred in the wars since he could draw a sword, and is ill-schooled in bolted language. Meal and bran together he throws without distinction. Give me leave. I'll go to him and undertake to bring him where he shall answer by a lawful form, in peace, to his utmost peril.
Noble tribunes, it is the humane way. The other course will prove too bloody, and the end of it unknown to the beginning.
Meet on the marketplace. We'll attend you there. For if you bring not Marcus, we'll proceed in our first way.
I'll bring him to you. Let me desire your company. He must come, or what is worst will follow.
Pray you, let's to him.
Full exit. Act 3, Scene 2. Second. Scene enter Coriolanus with nobles. Let them pull all about mine ears, present me death on the wheel, or at wild horses' heels, or pile 10 hills on the Tarpeian rock, that the precipitation might down stretch below the beam of sight, yet will I still be thus to them.
You do the nobler.
I muse my mother does not approve me further, who was wont to call them woolen vassals, things created to buy and sell with ropes, to show bare heels, in congregations to yawn, be still, and wonder when one but of my ordinance stood up to speak of peace or war. Enter Volumnia. I talk of you. Why did you wish me milder? Would you have me false to my nature? Rather say I play the man I am?
Oh, sir, sir, sir. I would have had you put your power well on before you had worn it out.
Let go.
You might have been enough the man you are with striving less to be so. Lesser had been the thwartings of your dispositions if you had not showed them how you were disposed ere they lacked the power to cross you.
Let them hang.
Aye, and burn.
Too.
Enter Menenius would say.
Come. You've been too rough, something too rough. You must return and mend it.
There's no remedy unless by not doing so our good city cleave in the middle and perish.
Pray be counsel. I have a heart as little apt as yours, but yet a brain that leads my use of anger to better usage.
Well said, noblewoman. Before he should thus stoop to the herd, but that the violent fit of the time craves it as physic for the whole state. I would put mine armor on, which I can scarcely bear.
What must I do?
Return to the tribunes.
Now what then? What then?
Repent what you have spoke.
For them? I cannot do it to the gods. Must I then do it to them?
You are too absolute. Though therein you can never be too noble, but when extremities speak. I have heard you say that honor and policy, like unsevered friends in the war, do grow together. Grant that, and tell me in peace what each of them by the other lose, that they should combine not there.
Tush, tush.
A good demand.
If it be honor in your wars to seem the same you are not, which for your best ends you adopt your policy, how is it less or worse that it shall hold companionship in peace with honor as in war, since that to both it sounds in like request?
Why force you this?
Because that now it lies on you to speak to the people, not by your own instruction, nor by the matter which your heart prompts you, but with such words as are but roded in your tongue, though but bastards and syllables of no allowance to your bosom's truth. Now, this no more dishonors you at all than to take it in a town with gentle words, which else would put you to your fortune and the hazard of much blood. I would dissemble with my nature where my fortunes and my friends are at stake required. I should do so in honor. I am in this your wife, your son, these senators, the nobles, and you will rather show our general louts how you can frown than spend a fawn upon them for the inheritance of their loves and safeguard of that what want might ruin.
Noble lady, come, go with us, speak fair. You may salve so, not what is dangerous present, but the loss of what is past.
I pray thee now, my son, go to them with this bonnet in thy hand, and by thus far having stretched it, here be with them. Thy knee bussing the stones, for in such business action is eloquence, and the eyes of the ignorant more learned than the ears. Waving thy head, which often thus correcting thy stout heart, now humble as the ripest mulberry that will not hold the handling. Or say to them that thou art their soldier, and being bred in boils, have not the soft way, which thou dost confess were fit for thee to use as they declaim, in asking their good loves. But thou wilt frame thyself, forsooth, hereafter theirs, so far as thou hast power and person.
This but done even as she speaks, why, their hearts were yours, for they have pardons being asked, as free as words to little purpose.
Prithee now go, and be ruled. Although I know thou hadst rather follow thine enemy in a fiery gulf than flatter him in a bower.
Enter Coriolanus.
I have been at the marketplace, and sir, 'tis fit you make strong party or defend yourself by calmness or by absence. All's in anger.
Only fair speech.
I think 'twere serve if he can thitherto frame his spirit.
He must and will. Prithee now, say you will, and go about it.
Must I go show them my unbarbered sconce? Must I, with my base tongue, give to my noble heart a lie that it must bear? Well, I will do it. Yet, were there but this single plot to lose, this mold of Martius, they to dust should grind it, the throat against the wind. To the marketplace you have put me now to such a part, which never I shall discharge in life.
Come, what prompt you?
I pray thee now, sweet son, as thou hast said my praises made thee first a soldier, so to have my praise for this, perform a part thou hast not done before.
So I must do it. Play my disposition and possess me some harlot spirit. My throats of war be turned, which quired with my drum into a pipe small as an inch, or the virgin voice that babies lull asleep. The smiles of knaves tent in my cheeks, and schoolboys' tears take up the glasses of my sight. A beggar's tongue make motion through my lips, and my armed knees who bowed but in my stirrup, than this that have received alms. I will not do it, lest I cease to honor mine own truth, and by my body's action teach my mind and most inherent baseness.
At thy choice, then. To beg of thee, it is more my more dishonor than thou of them. Come, all to ruin. Let thy mother rather feel thy pride than fear thy dangerous stoutness, for I mock at death with as big a heart as thou. Do as thou list. Thy valiantness was mine. Thou suckest it from me, but owe thy pride thyself.
Pray, be content. Mother, I am going to the marketplace, try to be no more. I'll mountebank their loves, con their hearts from them, and come home beloved of all the trades in Rome. Look, I am going. Commend me to my wife. I'll return consul, or never trust to what my tongue can do in the way of flattery further.
Do your will.
Away, the tribunes do attend you. Arm yourself to answer mildly, for they are prepared with accusations, as I hear, more strong than are upon you yet.
The word is mildly. I pray you, let us go. But them accuse me by invention. I will answer in mine honor.
Aye, but mildly.
Well, mildly be it then. Mildly. Exit. Act 3, Scene 3.
In this point, charge him home that he affects tyrannical power. If he evade us there, enforce him with his envy to the people, and that the spoil got on the Anteides was ne'er distributed. What, will he come?
He is coming.
How accompanied?
With old Menenius and those senators that always favored him.
You a catalog of all the voices that we have procured? set down by the poll?
I have. 'Tis ready.
Have you collected them by tribes?
I have.
Assemble presently the people hither, and when they hear me say, it shall be so, in the right and strength of the commons, be it either for death, for fine, or for banishment, then let them, if I say fine, cry fine. If death, cry death, insisting upon the old prerogative and power in the truth of the cause.
I shall inform them.
And when such time they have begun to cry, let them not cease, but with a din confuse it, enforce the present execution of what we chance to sentence.
Very well.
Make them be strong and ready for this hint when we shall have to give it to him.
Go about it. Put him to collar straight. He hath been used ever to conquer and have his worth of contradiction. Being once chafed, he cannot be reined again to temperance. Then he speaks what's in his heart, and that is there which looks with us to break his neck.
Enter Coriolanus, Ananias, and Cominius with others, senators.
Well, here he comes.
Calmly, I do beseech you.
I, as an ostler that for the poorest peace will bear the name of the volume, the honored gods, keep Rome in safety and the chairs of justice supplied with worthy men, like love among us. Throng our larger temples with the shows of peace, and not our streets with war.
Amen. Amen.
A noble wish.
Enter Ideale and the plebeians.
Draw near, ye people.
List to your tribunes. Audience, peace, I say.
First, hear me speak.
Well say, peace, hope.
Shall I be charged no further than this present? Must all determine here?
I do demand, if you submit you to the people's voices, allow their officers, and are content to suffer lawful censure for such faults as shall be proved upon you.
I am content.
Oh, citizens, he says he is content. The warlike services he has done, consider. Think upon the wounds his body bears, which show like graves in the holy churchyard.
Scratches with briars, scars to move laughter only.
Consider further that when he speaks not like a citizen, you find him like a soldier. Do not take his rougher accents for malicious sounds, but as I say, as such as become a soldier, rather than envy you.
Well, no more.
What is the matter? That's being passed for consul with full voice. I am so dishonored with the very hour you take it off again.
Answer to us.
Say then 'tis true I are so.
We charge you that you have contrived to take from Rome all seasoned office, and to wind yourself into a power tyrannical for which you are a traitor to the people.
How? Traitor?
Nay, temperately, your promise.
The fires of the lowest hell fold in the people. Call me their traitor. Thou injurious tribune, within these eyes set 20,000 deaths, in thy hands clutched as many millions. In thy lying tongue both numbers, I would say, thou liest unto thee with a voice as free as I do pray the gods.
Mark you this people?
To the rock with him.
Peace. We need not put new matter to his charge. What you have seen him do and heard him speak, beating your officers, cursing yourselves, opposing laws with strokes, and here defying those whose great power must try him. Even the so criminal, and in such capital kind, deserves the extremest death.
But since he hath served well for Rome.
What do you prate of service?
I talk of that know it.
You?
Is this the promise that you made your mother?
No, I pray you.
Oh, no further. Let them pronounce the steep Tarpeian death. The vagabond exile, flame, pens to linger, but with a grain a day. I would not buy their mercy at the price of one fair word, nor check my courage for what they can give. To have it with a good morrow.
For that is, as much as in him lies, from time to time envied against the people, seeking means to pluck away their power, as now at last given hostile strokes, and that not in the presence of dreaded justice, but on the ministers that doth distribute it. In the name of the people, and in the power of us, the tribunes, we, even from this instant, banish him our city in peril of precipitation from off the rock Tarpeian, nevermore to enter our Rome gates. In the people's name, I say it shall be so.
Oh,
It shall be so. It shall be so. Let him away. He's banished, and it shall be so. Hear me, my masters and my common friends.
He's sentenced, no more hearing.
Let me speak. I have been counsel and can show for Rome her enemies' marks upon me. I do love my country's good with a respect more tender, more holy and than mine own life. My dear wife's estimate, her womb's increase and treasure of my loins. Then if I would speak that...
We know your drift. Speak what?
There's no more to be said, but he is banished as enemy to the people and his country. It shall be so.
It shall be so.
Shall be
It
so.
shall be so.
you common cry of curds, whose breath I hate, as reek of the rotten fens, whose loves I prize as the dead carcasses of unburied men that do corrupt my air. I banish you, and here remain with your uncertainty. Let every feeble rumor shake your hearts. Your enemies, with nodding of their plumes, fan you into despair. Have the power still to banish your defenders, till at length your ignorance, which finds not till it feels, making but preservation of yourselves, still your own foes deliver you, as most abated captives do to some nation, that won you without blows, despising for you the city. Thus I turn my back. There is a world elsewhere, Coriolanus, Coriolanus, and others exit.
The people's enemy is gone. Is gone.
Our enemy is banished. He is gone. Woo-hoo! Go see him out at gates and follow him as he has followed you with all despite. Give him deserved vexation. Let a guard attend us through the city. Come, let's see him out at gates. Come, the gods preserve our noble tribunes. Come.
They exit. Okay, 5 minutes. 5-minute break. See you in 5. Okay.
Vincent? Vincent? I couldn't get away. I thought I heard this dripping. Let me get his. Okay, let me try to get his phone number and call him. Vincent?
Yes.
Yeah, Vincent, forgive me. Our kitchen has had a flood.
Oh my God.
This is why I ran out. So, you know what? I think my poor mom, like she's 84 years old. She can't mop up this floor. When they're sending the super and a plumber. It's something, it all came up through the drain. And, you know, I thought I heard a dripping and I finally ran in there and it's like the floor is flooded. So should we just have Eleanor finish this volumnia? I mean,
that's fine with me.
I'm really sorry. This is like the last thing. I'm so sorry I ran out in the scene. Yeah.
That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, she can cover. I guess I'll cover for you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. This has been a blast. I feel like a schmuck not helping my mom because it's like all over the place.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. I had so much fun, and we'll be in touch.
Back. Hope to see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I would love to, Vincent. Thank you. All right, I'll be in touch with you. Okay. Take care. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Okay, is everybody else back?
I'm here.
Eleanor, did you hear all that?
Yes, I did.
So, okay, you're Volumnia.
Okay, I'm in the midst of marking the rest of my script, so I'm not actually ready to start again yet.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready. Take your time. And we'll just patch it up as we go along. There's only one big scene. Scene 6 is the last really big scene. Act 4, Scene 6. Everything else, I think, is under control. And we'll just... Yeah, so just let me know when you're ready, and we'll proceed.
Okay.
Well, assuming that you've anticipated every possible mishap. movie I want.
What's the noise in the background?
That's my neighbors. They're blaring rap music, and there's nothing I can do about that. Actually, let me try it. Let me put on some headsets. That'll really. I also closed the window.
Big improvement. Do you want me to take her Susan's other parts, or?
If you can, and if you end up talking to yourself, I'll jump in. Because again, there's only one really dark. Where does it? I cannot find the port for the headset, so I can't do that. Yeah, the only big scene is Act 4, Scene 6. So we'll just.
Oh dear.
I think it's going to scroll down here a little bit. Okay. Okay, here we go. Act 4, Scene 1. My phone will cooperate. Sorry.
You don't need to apologize. I'm still marking things. This is what happens when everything gets switched at the last minute.
This is the most challenging reading we've had so far.
Well, I found the Crucible with everybody dropping out and speaking to each other.
Well, I mean beforehand. I mean, at least the Crucible was well organized up to the point of performance. This play, again, I don't know if this is one of the problem plays, but
I don't know whether it's a problem play, but I know it's not a popular play.
And I can
It's
see
definitely
why.
it's definitely a tragedy. So
Yes.
it's a problem play when they can't classify it easily as comedy or tragedy, and it's not one of the popular ones.
I see.
My opinion, it's one of the more underrated. I like this one a lot.
I like it a lot too, Mark. The only thing I will say, though, is like Timon of Athens, it's all about crowds and the populace, and you need to have a stage full of people. It would be lovely if you had 50 people just to fill up the space. And if you're trying to do it on Zoom, it becomes very problematic.
And these battle scenes, these huge battle scenes, they're going to have a huge cast, and there's so many long speeches. And that first scene, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know what's going on with the first scene, but that could be cut.
It's definitely a play for spear carriers. There's a lot of them in it.
Yeah. Of course.
To me, the thing is that it's so. Am I doing both Volumnia and Virgilia now?
It seems so. Seems that way. There's only one scene. Is there only one more scene? There's this scene, then the next scene, and it looks. Then they appear again. Act 5, Scene 3. So they got about three more scenes.
The thing that I dislike about this is that Coriolanus is all one note.
Yes. Well, he's very self-righteous, and yes, doesn't doubt what he does, what he's doing, which makes it a tragedy actually. Okay, are we all ready?
No, we are not already, unfortunately. I'm still.
Okay. Actually, we're moving right along. This has gone a little more faster than some of the other. Okay.
And I do think that this is one where we can use the rest.
Yeah. But it really gets juicy from here on. So.
Yeah, the thing that's when they decide they need him again after all, that's they can't make up their minds. If they could keep him busy fighting wars all the time and out of Rome, that would be perfect.
Well, then Augustus came along with the Pax Romana, so.
Say that again?
The Pax, then Augustus came to power, and he.
Wait, I don't get the beginning of the sentence.
I said when Augustus came to power, he instituted the Pax Romana. He was satisfied he wasn't going to fight any more wars.
But he wasn't around during this time.
No, this predates. I think this is the takes place during the Republic. Still dealing and having they still have council. So this could predate Augustus.
Oh, senator. This play goes on and on.
Yeah, it does.
Conspirator. I'm second conspirator. I had thought I was first conspirator. And now I'm second conspirator. Okay. conspirator, and first lord. One and foot. Okay, I've marked everything except that anything else that Susan does besides Volumnia. I mean, I can't do in scene 3 in 4-3. I can't do both the Roman and the Volsa.
I'll do the Roman.
Okay. And in scene 5, I'm third serviceman, so I can't be second serviceman.
Then I will be. What? I'll be second serviceman.
Okay. In scene 6, then I'm Brutus. I haven't. Let me go and mark Brutus quickly. Okay, there's no one else to be Brutus in 4-6 because I will be talking to myself. But
well, then it will be Mark or Julia. Yeah, Mark, you want to be Brutus in scene 6?
hold on. Brutus in scene what?
Act 4, scene 6.
Act 4, scene 6. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. And in scene 7, she's lieutenant. Okay, I had missed that.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
I've just been asked if I'm available to do something else at 7:35.
Okay, then want to leave at 7:35? That's fine. We'll manage.
Okay.
I think we might have to end it around that time anyway, because I have to go.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go 7:35.
Okay. Let's
Or
see.
7:30. We'll end it at 7:30.
Okay. In scene 5-2, I'm the first watch, so I can't be the second watch.
I'll be the second watch.
Okay. And let's see. Scene 3, I'm Virgilian third conspirator. I'm first lord in the final scene. I'm first lord, and I'm second conspirator and first lord, and she's third conspirator and second lord. So somebody else should do that.
Yeah, we'll do well, and then Mark and Sheila will just take those over.
Okay, I'm finally done with everything except scrolling to the actual starting point. Let me just find the beginning of 4-1. All right, finally ready to go.
On the stretch. Okay. Come, leave your tears. A brief farewell. The beast with many hearts plucks me away. Nay, mother, where is your ancient courage? You were us to say extremities is the trier of spirits, that common chances common men could bear, that when the sea was calm, all boats alike showed mastership in floating, fortune's flows. When most struck home, being gentle wounded, craves a noble cunning. You were us to load me with precepts that would make invincible the heart of the conned them.
Oh heavens! Oh heavens!
Nay, I prithee, woman.
Now the red pestilence strike all trades in Rome, and occupations perish.
What? I shall be loved when I am lacked. Nay, mother, resume that spirit when you will want to say, if you had been the wife of Hercules, 6 of his labors you'd have done, and saved your husband so much sweat. Irenaeus, droop not. Adieu, farewell, my wife. My mother, I'll do well yet. Then, old and true, Irenaeus, thy tears are salter than a younger man's, and venomous to thin eyes. When sometimes, general, I have seen stern, and thou hast oft beheld heart-hardening spectacles, tell thee sad women. 'Tis fond to wail inevitable strokes, as 'tis to laugh at them. My mother, you want well. My hazards still have been your solace, and believe not lightly, though I go alone, like to a lonely dragon, that his fen makes feared and talk of more end than seen. Your son will or exceed the common, will be caught with Cortelius baits and practice.
My first son, whither wilt thou go? Take good Cominius with thee a while, determine on some course more than a wild exposture to each chance that starts in the way before thee.
Fare ye well. Thou hast years upon me. So if it were. No, that's not right. Sorry, where are we?
Higher up, the speech before that.
Oh, there we go. So, oh, the gods. Wait a second. You said my first son, right?
Mm-hmm. We need to come.
Then whither wilt thou go? You said that?
Yes.
Then Verilia, oh the gods? Okay. I'll follow thee amongst devised also. Then Comenius, that's the next line.
Mark, you there?
Bjorn, you're muted.
Sorry. Where are we at? I'm sorry.
Comenius' line, I'll follow thee amongst...
Camera.
I'll follow thee amongst devise with thee, where thou shalt rest.
Camera. Put yourself on camera.
Video. There you go. Okay. Go ahead.
That thou mightst hearest of us, and we of thee, so if the time thrust forth a cause for thy repeal, we shall not send o'er the vast world to seek a single man, and lose advantage, which doth ever cool if absence of the needer.
Fare ye well, thou hast years upon thee, and thou art too full of the wars Serpians to go rove with one that yet unbruised. Bring me but out a gate. Come, my sweet wife, my dearest mother, and my friend of noble touch. When I am forth, bid me farewell and smile. I pray you come. While I remain above the ground, you shall hear from me still, and never of me aught but what is like thee formerly.
That's worthy as any ear can hear. Come, let's not weep. If I could shake off but 7 years from this old arms and legs, by the good gods, I'd with thee every foot.
Give me thy hand. Sorry. Come. Thank you. Scene 3 enters 2 tribunes, Sicinius and Brutus, the ideal.
This is 4-2. Bid them home, he's gone, and will no further. The nobility are vexed, whom we see have sided in his behalf.
Now we have shown our power. Let us seem humbler after it is done than when it was a doing.
Bid them home. Say their great enemy is gone, and they stand in their ancient strength.
Dismiss them home. Here comes the mother.
Enter Limnia, Virgilia, and Menelaus.
Let's not meet her.
Well, why?
They say she's mad.
They have taken note of us. Keep on your way.
Oh, you are well met. The horrid plague of the gods requite your love.
Peace, peace, be not so loud.
That I could for weeping you should hear. Nay, and you shall hear, son. Will you be gone? You shall stay too. I would I had the power to say so to my husband. Are you mankind? I fool, is that a shame? No, but this fool was not a man, my father. Hadst thou fat ship to banish him that struck more blows for Rome than thou hast spoken words? Oh, blessed heavens! More noble blows than ever thy wise words. And for Rome's good, I'll tell you what. Go, nay, but thou shalt stay too. I would my son were in Arabia, and thy tribe before him his good sword in his hand. What then? When then he'd make an end of thy posterity. Bastards and all. Good man, the wounds that he does bear for Rome.
Come, peace.
I would he had continued to his country as he began, and not unknit himself the noble knot he made.
I would he had.
I would he had. 'Twas thou incensed the rebel. Cats that can judge as quickly of his worth as I can of those mysteries which heaven will not ever know.
Pray, let's go.
Now pray, sir, get you gone. You have done a brave deed. Ere you go, hear this. As far as doth the capital exceed the meanest house in Rome, So far my son, this lady's husband here, this, you see, whom you have banished, does exceed you all.
Well, we'll leave you.
Why stay we to be baited with one that wants her wits?
Tribune exit.
Take my prayers with you. I would the gods had nothing else to do but to confirm my curses. Could I meet him but once a day, it would unclog my heart of what lies heavy to it.
You have told them home, and by my troth you have cause. You'll sup with me?
Angers my meat. I sup upon myself, and so shall serve with feeding. Starve with feeding. Come, let's go. Leave this faint puling and lament as I do in anger, Juno-like. Come, come, come.
Exit.
Bye.
Yes. The exit. Act 4, scene 3. 1 second.
Enter a Roman and a Volscent.
I know you well, sir, and you know me. Your name, I think, is Adrian.
It is so, sir. Truly, I have forgotten you.
I am a Roman, and my services are as you are. Against them, know you me yet?
Nicanor? No.
The same, sir.
You had more beard when I last saw you, but your favor is well appeared by your tongue. What's the news in Rome? I have a note from the Volscian state to find you out there. You have well saved me a day's journey.
There have been in Rome strange insurrections, people against the senators, patricians, and nobles.
Hath been? Is it ended then? Our state thinks not so. They are in a most warlike preparation and hope to come upon them in the heat of their division.
The main blaze of it is past, but a small thing would make it flame again. For the nobles receive so too hard the banishment of that worthy Coriolanus, that they are in a ripe aptness to take all power from the people and to pluck from them their tributes forever. This lies glowing, I can tell you, and is almost mature for the violence breaking out.
Coriolanus, Spanish?
Banished, sir.
You will be welcome with this intelligence, Nicanor.
The day serves well from them now, I have heard. It's said the fittest time to corrupt a man's wife is when he's fallen out with her husband. Your noble Tullus Ophidius will appear well in these wars, his great opposer Coriolanus being now in no request of his country.
He cannot choose. I'm most fortunate thus accidentally to encounter you. You have ended my business, and I will merrily accompany you home.
I shall between this and supper tell you most strange things from Rome, all tending to good of their adversaries. Have you an army ready, say you?
A most royal one. The centurions and their charges distinctly billeted already in the entertainment, and to be on foot at an hour's warning.
I am joyful to hear their readiness and arm the man, I think, that shall set them in present action. So, sir, heartily well met, and most glad of your company.
You take my part from me, sir. I have the most cause to be glad of yours.
Well, let us go together. The exit. Act 4, Scene 4. Enter Coriolanus in mean apparel, disguised and muffled. A goodly city is this Autian city. 'Tis that I made my widow, made thy widows. Many an heir of these fair edifices for my wars have I heard ground and drop. Then know me not, lest that they will, that thy wives with spits and boys with stones in puny battle slay me. Enter citizen. Leah?
And you?
Direct me, if it be your will, where great Ophidius lies. Is he an Antium?
He is, and feasts the nobles of the state at his house this night.
Which is his house, I beseech you.
This here, before you.
Thank you, sir. Farewell. Well, slippery turns. Friends now fast sworn. You know what? Let me skip this. He exits. Let's skip right to scene 4, scene 5. Back 4, scene 5. You know what he's saying here. Enter. Music plays. Enter service. Serving man.
Wine, wine, wine. What service is here? I think our fellows are asleep.
He exits. Enter another serving man. Where's Cuttus? My master calls for him. Cuttus. He exits. Enter Coriolanus. The goodly half the feast smells well, but I appear not like a guest. Enter first serving man.
Oh, what would you have, friend? Whence are you? Here's no place for you. Pray, go to the door.
He exits. I have deserved no better entertainment than being Coriolanus. Enter second serving man. Juliet, did you read that too?
Oh, whence are you, sir? Has the porter his eye on his head that he gives entrance to such companions? Pray, get you out.
Away!
Away? Get you away.
Now, thou art troublesome.
Aren't you so brave? I'll have you talked with anon.
Enter third serving man, first entering.
What fellow's this?
As strange one as ever I looked on. I cannot get him out of the house. Prithee, call my master to him.
What have you to do here, fellow? Pray you avoid the house.
Let me but stand, I will not hurt your heart.
What are you?
A gentleman.
A marvelous poor one.
True, so I am.
Pray you, poor gentleman, take up some other station. Here's no place for you. Pray you avoid. Come.
Follow your function, go and batten on cold bits.
Why, you will not? Prithee tell my master what a strange guest he has here.
And I shall.
Where dwells thou?
Under the canopy.
Under the canopy.
Aye.
Where's that?
In the city of kites. In the city of kites and crows.
In the city of kites and crows. What an ass it is that thou dwellest with daws too.
No, I serve not thy master.
How, sir? Do you meddle with my master?
Aye, 'tis an honester service than to meddle with thy mistress. Thou partst and pratest. Serve with thy trencher hence. Enter Ophidius, second serving man.
Where is this fellow?
Dear sir, I'd have beaten him like a dog, but for disturbing the Lord within.
Whence comest thou? What wouldst thou? Thy name? Why speaks not? Speak, man, what's thy name?
Yes, tell us. My name is unmusical to the Volscian's ears, and harsh in sound to thine.
What is thy name?
My name is Caius Martius, who hath done to thee, particularly, and to all the Volscians, great hurt and mischief. There to witness my surname, Coriolanus, the painful service, the extreme dangers, and the drops of blood shed of my thankless country, and requited with but that surname in good memory, and witness of the malice and displeasure which thou shouldst spare me. Only the name remains, the cruelty and envy of the people, permitted by our dastard nobles, who have forsook me, that have devoured the rest, and suffered me, thy voice of the slaves, to be whooped out of Rome. Now this extremity hath brought me to thy heart, not out of hope, mistake me not, to save my life, or by fear of death. Of all men of the world I would have avoided thee, but in mere spite to be full quit of those my banishers stand before here. Then if thou hast a heart to wreak in thee, that will revenge thine own particular wrongs, and stop those names of shame seen through thy country, speed thee straight, and make my misery serve thy turn. So use it, that my revengeful services may prove benefits to thee. And my throat to thee, to thy ancient malice, which not to cut, would show thee but a fool, since I have ever followed thee with hate. Drawn, turns of blood out of my country's breast, and cannot live but to thy shame, unless it be to thee, to thy service.
O Marcius, Marcius, each word thou hast spoke hath weeded from my heart a root of ancient envy. If Jupiter should from yon cloud speak divine things and say 'tis true, I'd not believe them more than thee, all-noble Marcius. Let me twine mine arms about that body where against my grained ash 100 times hath broke and scarred the moon with splinters. Here I clip the anvil of my sword, and do contest as hotly and as nobly with thy love as ever in ambitious strength I did contend against thy valor. Know thou first, I loved the maid I married. Never man sighed truer breath but that I see thee here, thou noble thing. More dances my rapt heart than when I first my wedded mistress saw bestride my threshold. Why, thou Mars, I tell thee, we have a power on foot, and I had purpose once more to hew thy target from thy brawn, or lose mine arm for't. Thou hast beat me out 12 several times, and I have nightly since dreamt of encounters twixt thyself and me. We have been down together in my sleep, unbuckling helms, fisting each other's throat, and waking half dead with nothing. Worthy Marcius, had we no quarrel else to Rome, but that thou art thence banished, we would muster all from 12 to 70, and pouring war into the bowels of ungrateful Rome, let a bold flood o'erbear. Oh, come, go in and take our friendly senators by the hands, who now are here taking their leaves of me, who am prepared against your territories, though not for Rome itself.
You bless me, God.
Therefore, most absolute sir, if thou wilt have the leading of thine own revenges, take the 1/2 of my commission and set it down, as best thou art experienced, since thou knowest thy country's strength and weakness, thine own ways, whether to knock against the gates of Rome or rudely visit them in parts remote, to fright them ere destroy. But come in. Let me commend thee first to those that shall say yea to thy desires. 1,000 welcomes, and more a friend than e'er an enemy. Yet, Marcius, that was much. Your hand, most welcome.
Coriolanus and Phidias exit. We're going to skip. We're going to cut out. We're going to skip the next scene. Let's see.
And you want me to be Brutus for this one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
What are we skipping?
What's that? What's that, Eleanor?
What are we skipping?
The rest of the scene with the serving them. And we're going to head straight to scene 6. Enter 2 tribunes, Sicinius and Brutus.
I'm being asked to join the meeting now. I thought it was supposed to be 7:35, but I'm being asked to join it now.
Okay, then why don't we just call it a night?
Okay.
Okay, we're giving it a little try. This is very challenging. Thanks, everybody. We didn't get to see, Coriolanus get, stabbed.